G'day and welcome to the Inforunners. I'm Execute, joined today by Space Toomato and Imitation Tina. How are you both doing today?
Howdy, how's it going?
Doing well.
Very Texan. I am still waking up. That will be fine. Right, had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're all good today, so you're all well. I'm still trying to get things set up on the Twitch side, but we are live as well on both. So good to see everyone. I know we had a fair few people waiting, and we are about 12 minutes late, so apologies for that, but we are all good now. So today we're going to be going through ISC. Obviously, we've got Tina and Space, so we'll be going through questions as well. So if you do want to preference your question with the word question, and you can shoot him through. Yes, Space is in Turkey, so he will be taking all your Turkey questions. Your gobble questions, please send them to Space. But yeah.
They love that joke here.
Yes, gobble. Yes. So yeah. Yeah, we've also got questions for Tina. We actually found out before stream, I didn't know this, that you were a UI designer. So we've actually got questions. If you've got questions about Star Citizen's UI, throw them at Tina. She is a Windows Vista expert, as you can see from in the background. Yeah, she's tech support for Windows Vista. So yeah, if you've got any Windows Vista issues, also throw those at Tina. No, just kidding.
Exclamation point Windows Vista.
Yes, I think that'll be a thing. So Tina, what would you tell us about yourself? Would you like to introduce yourself to stream while I try and get a few things fixed in the background? And Space, you can.
Sure, okay.
I'll make some noise too.
Also, sorry, it looks like does my camera look terrible to everybody else? Is that just me?
It looks a little bad, but we will make do. It'll improve itself over time. We're all good.
I'll try turning something off in a minute as well. I wonder if there's so many things open on my computer. But I'll turn that off in just a second. So yeah, my name's Tina, and I've been streaming since about September. Yeah, I know not much about games at all, and I had a Nintendo 64 and a Super Nintendo when I was growing up, and that's about it. And then pandemic, lots of boredom. My husband plays a lot of games. I wanted to start gaming, give it a shot. Star Citizen has been one of those mini games, and that's what has brought us here.
Sheesh, a crazy game to jump into.
I got more questions now. What were your favorite games on the Nintendo 64? Because I was a big Nintendo 64 guy. My big game at the time was GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. I had a whole website and stuff. Like that's kind of where my content creation started all the way back then. Was with GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. So yeah, I'm curious. What was your forte?
So forte is not a word for me because I was like, 3 feet off the ground. But I played Donkey Kong, and my favorite game was Wave Race and Cruisin' USA. And we had a Super Nintendo that I would play the Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. Yes, until my godmother's child chewed through the cord, and I never got to play it again.
What? Yes. It's the cat, not a kid, but okay, I get where you're going.
Yeah.
No, it was a kid. She chewed through the cord. I was very disappointed.
You should feed your kids more often. They might not do that.
I've never been good at games. Like I can only get through to like level 1. Maybe half of level 1 in like any game. But that's what's been so great about Twitch is because everyone's so nice and so helpful and so fun. And I'm actually getting to play games and get farther along than level 1, specifically because of Twitch.
Yep.
And like without them, I'd be in the same boat. That's why I give up games. I just can't get through like the first level. So that's why we're here. Yeah.
That is the answer.
Oh, let me see if I can fix my camera really quick. So sorry.
This is interesting. It's actually telling me that the Twitch stream is offline.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm seeing it.
Can you see it?
Let me double check on the actual directory.
I'm still having this weird issue. Sorry, chat. I'm trying to set the title on Twitch, and it just refuses to let me set the title. It just
Twitch is mean.
Finally, it worked. Right, that made no sense whatsoever, but we're all good.
Because I looked at it.
Yeah, that's minus touch.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, I'll get the bot set up, and then I think we are kind of good to go. This will be your first time seeing the bot, won't it, Space? So just so people are aware, Space is one of the people that are looking at the bot to potentially expand for other Star Citizen streamers. So him seeing this will probably be really good. Now, for Tina and for Space, in the Discord, there is a channel called Stream Questions. And those questions that people ask in chat, if they put the word question in, they will be sent to that Discord channel. So you can actually directly see the questions. I'm just starting the bot now. And as long as this works, and it didn't, I don't know why. That one. Perfect. We're working. All right. So you can now see them. They'll come up in there. You'll see them filter up into there. And what I do is I just do the little thumbs up emoji, or you can use any emoji you want as we knock them off. So you can already see we've got 2 questions in there already. The red box means YouTube, and the purple box means Twitch.
Okay.
Clear as mud? Cool. Awesome. Ace Hambone, thank you for the super chat, who says, hello, gents and Tina. He's modified his text chat. He almost always just says, hello, gents. Thanks for the stream. But he's gone, and Tina. So, yeah, thank you very much, Ace Hambone, for the $10 super chat. Appreciate it very much. Alrighty. So, Tina.
Yeah.
How do you find the UI in Star Citizen? Because I think it's hot garbage right now.
I strongly it's very beautiful, especially compared to some other games. Yeah. I think it's really nice. So one thing for me that some people, when I streamed, some people found this surprising, and as someone new to games, I didn't know. So it was interesting. But I had way more trouble playing Left 4 Dead. No, Left 4 Dead. I mean, Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption was so challenging. The UI, I couldn't play, and I'm gonna have to take specifically time to learn how to use the UI. But it's not that as hard to play Star Citizen. Yeah, so the map is really difficult, and the star map having some struggles with that.
That's what I was gonna prompt Space to ask you about that, because that is that's something me and Space share in common. It is a pet peeve of the pair of us, isn't it, Space? Me and Space could talk about that for quite a while. So yeah,
I feel like I think of the star map and I start to channel my inner Pedro Pascal. I mean, this is a very this is a very meta reference, but he now has this meme going around where he's frustrated, and that's just star map. I wake up in the morning in sweats because of the star map.
Yeah, it's
how bad it is. That's how serious it is. Changes my whole life.
Very frustrating, because it really hasn't changed in all. Like, it's been the same way ever since it got introduced. It's really needed an update. It just never got.
It was so For perspective, the same star map we are using now was meant to be used. We didn't have any planets. We had 5 or maybe 6 space stations around Crusader and nothing else. So they made the star map for a space where you wouldn't need to search for things, or you wouldn't need to drag and move around a bunch. And now 7 years later, it's doesn't work.
Actually, there was one update I remember. Was before you had an icon to tell you where you were. Remember that? It just was the camera kind of moved with it. Now there's a little triangle icon that kind of tells you where you are. But before that, there was just nothing. It was like, I think this is me. But anyway.
So of all the different UI in the game that you've experienced, Tina, I would be interested in hearing which one you found to be the best.
Because you got things like so I assume you're talking about things like the mining, the salvage, the scanning, or medical tools, hand tools. Is there any that you
the inventory, if you think that might be
that's a good one.
That's part.
Yep. Does anything
inventory? Yeah, that one's tough because it's funny. You mentioned a lot of things that I have yet to even do before. I think I've played around 10 to 12 hours now of Star Citizen, and I haven't done a single mission. I've started one, but there's just so much to do that I keep forgetting and going off on a different adventure. So I haven't gotten to a lot of that yet. But I have had some struggle with the inventory because sometimes I have my stuff when I go to somewhere else, and then sometimes I don't. And I can't seem to put my finger on why I'll have it here and then why I won't have it there,
and it's very confusing
that
for
can be a struggle.
It's very confusing for new people because they're used to it where, you know, you open your inventory in game and you've still got like this magic bag. In this game, everything's physicalized, although that's what they call it. So if you're in Horizon, say you start in Horizon, all your stuff that you own will spawn in Horizon. So if you go over to Microtech, it's all you've left it all behind in Horizon. So I watched one of your videos where you brought you're a big cutter fan. I've noticed you like your cutter, and it's a miracle every time you land the ship. From the videos, but and then recently you cheated on the cutter and got a Phoenix, yeah, cutter feels very bad now.
And don't feel bad about maybe forgetting stuff, because I've been playing this game for far too long, and I still will buy everything I need, go to my ship, fly across the system, open my inventory, and be like, I don't have any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So it's
it's weird. Like I swear sometimes I have it on me, and then we fly, and then it's just magically not in my backpack anymore. And I was like, but I had it right in my hands. It's very confusing.
Yeah. So you
probably
left it on the space station that you're at, because you got to get used to all that. Because like just being at a location, you have the vehicle inventory, your personal inventory, and you have a ship inventory. And if it's not in the right one, because you and the ship will go, but the local inventory will stay. So yeah, it is.
But they all look the same. That's where the UI is I mean, it's all the same box.
Yeah, they probably need some color codes or something like that, or something like that. But I've heard the same issue from a lot of newer people. It does take a little getting used to, because it's the only other game that Space would be Eco. That's the only other game I can really compare it to. Can't you? I don't know about you, with the stockpiles.
I don't even I don't play many games.
You played Eco with me though, but it's been a hot minute. We haven't played that in a couple of years.
Yeah, it has been a while. I think like just the word labels on the top is a little bit they could do with some color coding or stuff. That's a good idea.
I had that.
Yeah, one of the ways I've been getting around it is I just make sure everything is in my like cargo area. That's like it. I'll stuff everything in the back of the ship, and if I can physically see it sitting on the floor in the back of the ship, then it's still there.
Well, be thankful, because the original concept was to have everything as holograms. So you know how we can actually, like, there's pictures of the armor and stuff like that. Originally, they were all light blue, see-through, transparent holograms, and then they changed it because they realized that was obviously going to be a terrible idea, because it's hard. Like, if you have an undersuit come up and it's the same undersuit, it would just look holographic blue for all of them. So there was no way to tell which one you had on. Like, were they going to have the word purple, green? So you had to do you imagine how annoying that would be? But yeah.
Your blue undersuit or your slightly less blue undersuit.
Yeah. So
those exciting days.
Yeah. So luckily they got rid of that. But yeah, I honestly agree. I think that's something that needs a little bit more work, but they're getting there. And I know a lot of people are really fond of the transfer all button, but I want to see the basic things like, you know, like shift click and stuff like that, and the splitting and stacking stuff.
I don't even think I've seen the transfer all button.
Is that a cat?
It is.
Oh, lion?
No, it's a dog.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's huge.
Wow.
Tina, how tiny are you? I'm just wondering if this is the scale. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
So this is Rousey. Here we go. Hold on. I know the camera's really blurry. I'm sorry, my camera's not working very well. I don't know why. But this is Rousey. He one of my 3 cats. He does not. He doesn't clean himself very well, and he gets a lot of dandruff and a lot of mats, especially on his chest. And so biannually, he needs a little haircut, and we give him the little lion haircut. So he's in full swing of that. But he seems to like it. He just sits there, and he sits on my lap, and we'll just take the little razor, just like it's just chilling, just brushing, and he'll just. Yeah, and he needs a little sweater or something too.
Who doesn't like a little bit of that little lion haircut?
It's so cute. It helps a lot with the dandruff. I didn't know cats got that, but
sorry, distracted me. I was like, that cat's taking up the whole camera.
He is normal size, but yes, I'm like 5'4".
My 2 cats
average.
My 2 cats are still sleeping, so yeah, they might make an appearance at some stage. They tend to do that randomly. You just see a tail go. But yeah.
Yep.
All right. we might take a question then. So Voodoo Chol asks, what crew roles are you comfortable being handled by AI? That's from Voodoo Chol. Oh, so I don't know. Space, I'll throw that one to you. You can start us off. So what crew roles are you comfortable being controlled by AI in the game?
Probably turrets.
Yeah, I think they're very good at that initially.
The easiest thing to fake, maybe not the easiest thing, but I feel like turrets have got to be one of the easy things to fake. Like, as long as you're putting bullets out from your ship, people are gonna be like, oh, they're fighting back, and maybe back off. But like, I don't want an NPC doing engineering. They're gonna go in there and like connect to my engine or something and take over my ship. I don't know. So
I desperately want the NPCs to do more things. Like just in general, to like walk around and feel more real. Every time I go into Star Citizen, I see them and I think about like the Guild, you know, the show, and when he falls in love with the underwater NPC mermaid, and I want to be able to see people having that experience.
I was waiting for her to say I want to fall in love with an NPC underwater. Anyway. The funny thing is, like, we've talked about this a few times before, it's actually intrinsically, so obviously the walking on chairs stuff at the moment, that's all bandwidth based. So once they have more bandwidth, the NPCs will be able to do more things. But the other part of it is the AI and the rating system. Because if you realize with the rating system they're going to have, so if you have some, you know, say you're a bad engineer, obviously rated as, to take the engineer example you gave earlier, Space, if you have a 1-star rating as opposed to a 5-star rating, you can roughly work out an average time of how long it would take a person to do that task, or how they would do that task. We also know they have AI personalities that give them traits. So using the traits plus the rating system, you can actually fake an engineer situation. So where a human player might take 3 minutes to complete a task, and say they're a level 3 rated human. If you then have an AI system, they can roughly copy that time on average across every 3-star rated human is somewhere between 3 to 4 minutes. They can get the AI just to literally be a progress bar and go, all right, so this task is going to take them roughly 3 to 4 minutes. So they can fake it. The AI is not actually going to sit there and do it. They'll fake it. But that's how most of the AI, that's how I've concluded they're going to do it. Well, that's how I would do it as a designer, right? I've concluded that that's most likely how they're going to do it. Because why would you go to the whole effort of actually programming all that when you can take a facsimile and do that, right? Because essentially it's just an autocomplete.
Yeah. That's one thing I've seen a lot of people complain. In the little that I have seen, I've seen several people complain about like lines and stuff and waiting in lines, and I like it. It just makes it feel a little bit more realistic. Like at the hangar, I've yet to experience a line. Wait, no, I experienced one once when I was waiting to buy the little motorcycle. I did have to wait behind someone, and I was very antsy, but it just led to the excitement more. You know, I just had to wait. I was like, why aren't they done yet? And then I got my turn, and it made it just that much more special. It was finally my turn. I did enjoy that. Those little things would make it realistic.
I think that's the closest I've ever seen to Star Citizen's version of the Black Friday sale. Just sitting there.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, what about
it's great.
In terms of like the details, how do you feel about the eating and drinking aspect of the game?
Oh yeah. Well, I think it's really cute and funny that you have to like take off your helmet, and everyone keeps telling me to don't forget to take your helmet off because they keep telling me to put the helmet on. I'm not sure yet when I'm going to experience, or I forget that I didn't put the helmet on, but they always make sure that I have the helmet on. So I don't know what I'm missing out on dying wise, but
lots of sexual sounds as you go outside going, yeah. Basically is what you're missing out.
I don't. Chat never saves me. I die almost every single time I play from forgetting.
Like every time I start the game, they're like, "Did you put your helmet on yet?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, let's go." But I do like it's cute. I wish there was a few more like little sound effects. When I'm editing some of my videos, I have added in some like more intense like ripping sound effects to opening up a package or something, just to make it more interesting. But I like that the whole action happens. It doesn't seem beneficial enough at the moment to go through the effort of like throwing a can away into a trash can. it's not like it will pile up on the floor, most likely. So I would, if it has, I haven't noticed, or maybe people are really good at cleaning, but I haven't seen anyone picking up trash or like a thing coming by to pick up trash. So yes, it doesn't. That's not simulated realistically to me yet.
They are
318 for you.
Yeah, they're going to have.
That's the next update.
They're eventually going to have AI and players that will pick up stuff.
That'll be awesome. I would like that. I like the idea of it feeling like a second life, second world kind of thing. That would be really cool. Though when I try to explain it, when people are like, "What are you playing?" It's pretty funny to try to say that.
Wait, have you had any reactions when you tell people that you play Star Citizen? Like people who don't play the game?
Yeah. So I've had I've been playing a lot of old games. I've been playing like Half-Life 1. I've never played it before, and so we have some people like coming in who watch those games and stuff on Twitch, and then they're like, what are you doing? What are you playing? Or also, I do a lot of I do fitness streams. I also do Gundam building, all kinds of stuff. So they might not be gamers per se, or painting, all kinds of things. And
actually,
they're like, what are you playing?
I did watch one of the models you're building. And I actually want to watch it. Right now, it's just 2 arms and 2 legs. So I'm holding in suspense for the body to be.
I have one. We have one right here. Oh, it's done. No. Wait. Yeah. There we go. This is our. Oh. There's his leg. His legs. His.
Nice.
We'll have to fix that later. But yes, we did finally finish one.
But yeah.
When I used to watch Gundam on TV.
Took her an hour and a half to finish like a leg. That was pretty funny to watch.
Yes. It might have taken me more like 2 to 3.
That's a patience building hobby, huh? I couldn't paint something that small. I couldn't even paint the wall of my bedroom when I was a kid.
Those ones aren't painted.
We got this one because it was already colored this week.
Okay.
So every piece of plastic is a different color. That's why they take so long. So you've got to snap all the plastic pieces together. So yeah.
The first one I did was not painted, and I tried to paint it, and that went poorly, and now it has turned into a hot mess. And I glued another Gundam on top of it. I made the initial D car, and then the paint went everywhere. So I just started trying to paint it like a fun color, and that turned out terribly too. And we put this little guy on top. He's pretty cool. Yeah, so he's super glued on top now.
Yeah,
it does. You might know the colors I like.
Makes sense.
Painting them is difficult. It bleeds. I put the tape down and everything to try, like when you paint a wall, but it bled right through the tape, and it looks awful. So I don't know. Now it's just like a test dummy.
When you started streaming, did you immediately start in Star Citizen, or were you doing other games?
No, I didn't. So I started streaming. I started like off of a laptop for a week or so, and then we moved right into a PC, and the PC died. It like literally melted from the inside. It was sad. We've been doing cooking streams and games. A lot of old games. But maybe a couple months in, when we got a new computer, people wanted to see me like push its specs to the limits. And Star Citizen was one of those ones that might do that. And my husband plays Star Citizen. I've watched him play, and he has a lot of fun on it. And I was like, let's do it. Let's try it. And he's like, be prepared.
Who is your husband as a streamer?
Oh, he's not a streamer at the moment, though he might be one day. try to push him to do it. But yes, he's also a UI UX designer as well. And we recently moved out to the Las Vegas area, and since moving, streaming has been like my main thing. And I recently left my job, and my full-time job in UI UX, and I do like looking for little side projects and stuff in that. But right now, Twitch and streaming is my thing, and we're trying to grow that. Yeah.
I'm curious. Shifting topics a little bit. So you didn't really play too many games, and then you jumped into Star Citizen, which is a very weird game. So I'm wondering, from your perspective, what do you think of like the whole game isn't finished, gets updated every few months, like kind of has stuff going on, but also things are
Sure.
broken. How does that feel?
It's like 1 to 100 type of
Well,
Yeah.
well, it's kind of funny. I mean, the game gets updated every few months. It's funny to say because I've been playing for a while now, but I don't think there's been an update.
Yeah, you came
well,
at
I had to.
Came in at a
That's not
weird
true.
time. Yeah. So we've been
People
waiting.
keep telling me.
Yeah, been waiting for a while for this.
They're like,
update.
spend your credits.
Well, we're all gonna
They
get
keep
a
telling
wipe.
me. And so that's why we spent all our money. I was gifted some funds by the lovely Just Riot. Gave me some funds and a cute little cat armor, and then we lost that cat armor. We got some new cat armor.
Well, you can't.
But we're like, okay, we're going to spend the money. Let's go. And so we went and bought the ship because I thought it was going to get wiped and stuff, but we still have it all. So now I got no money and a really big ship.
You'll get
So-
you'll get the cat armor back when the reset happens though, so you'll be fine.
That's kind of funny though, because you started the game and literally as you started, people were probably like, "Oh, the game's gonna wipe. Like, don't worry about it."
Yeah,
Now we've been here for like
hasn't.
6 months.
No, no. So this is the only Star Citizen I know.
Much better than 2 years ago. I'll tell you that. The whole inventory thing didn't even exist. We just got that.
Yeah, so the inventory is pretty new.
Yeah. Is it? Okay.
I
Wait,
think
what was it before?
Less than 12 months. So before it was just
Nothing. There was no
Nothing.
inventory.
yeah, it was
You would
just,
basically, it was like you thought you would.
It was
have
either in your
everything.
hands or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, it would be in this nebulous bag that you could access through your Mobi-Glass,
yeah.
but like it wasn't like you would buy something, store it in a place, and then go somewhere. You would buy something, store it in a place, and then wherever you go, you could just magically
Yeah.
get it again. Like
So
a
what
magic
you
bag.
what you were talking about before, like as in traditional games, where it's just this magical bag that you took everywhere. Now it's all physicalized, so it's kind of like the bags are essentially all split up now. So yeah.
Well, but they're not, are they? I mean, it's one bag on the right, and then I still have. You saying there's tabs at the top? I need to go explore this.
Yep.
You still just hit one
As a
button.
UI
It's one-
designer,
one
you
bag.
have not explored the UI enough. That's what I'm hearing.
It is
It's
one
hard.
bag, but just for each city or space station. It's it's strange.
Mhm.
It's a type of
It
game.
definitely is, but that needs to be more clear, at least for the me's in the
Alright.
game.
All right, let's take it.
But
Go ahead.
yeah. Oh no, go for it.
I was just going to ask another question. So finish what you're saying, and then we'll go into another question.
The only other thing I had on that topic was you were talking about other games really quick. One of the reasons I was like interested into starting Star Citizen is it reminded me of one of the only other space games I really have played. So like I said, I haven't played much games. I've played a fair number of hours of Star Wars: The Old Republic MMO.
Same. It's a good game.
And that's and it does like so when I heard about this and I saw this, it looked like a really upgraded kind of version of that. And I'm like going off of UI expectations of kind of like that. How everything's going to be laid out on the screen, interacting with people. That's kind of where I'm coming from and thinking, okay, how has an upgrade from Star Wars? Yeah, but I played that in high school. That was a lot of fun. I tried playing it recently, just as fun. I miss it. Might have to play it some more. I played that to talk to boys, to meet my husband. We were a long distance relationship, didn't play games, wanted to do something that he liked to do, jumped onto Star Wars. Yes, it was a good way.
You now make me feel old because I was playing that when Star Citizen was on Kickstarter. So yeah.
I really wanted to play that game because I loved the Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
And I was so turned off of it because I found out it was an MMO, only to realize that like 3 years later, my favorite game would end up being it because I didn't play MMOs before this. So I never got to try that, but it's pretty good.
You can
I like it a lot.
You can still play it now, so you could actually go play.
yeah.
It's called free to play. The thing that really makes it better than other MMOs
Kind of. You have to pay a lot.
you can pay, but I think you can get to level 50 or something for basically free. But the thing is, all the quests are all the quests are cinematic space. That's the big thing. So instead of just like a wall of text or an audio log, there are like mini cinematics for everything. So there's a little reward every time you do it
with your friends too.
Yeah.
When you like go and talk to a character, you might pick an answer, and your friend might pick a different answer.
Yep.
And you don't know which one is gonna get to say it to
like
the
a roll off.
NPC.
Yeah.
See, that's honestly what kept me away from MMOs was the idea that it wasn't sort of cinematic and storytelling, but clearly I was wrong.
You should try it.
Yeah.
Well,
it's old, but it's cute. It's
the
cute.
very original, because it's not really BioWare anymore. Like, it's BioWare in name, but it was original. The original concept was by BioWare, and then once they finished the main MMO, they kind of all left. So it's now,
we saw how that affected BioWare.
Yeah, so it's not BioWare really anymore because everyone's kind of moved on. But the original was BioWare. So yeah. All right, we'll take a question. So Stefan's the Eddie asks, "Did X kill Algrid?" I'll let Space take this one, or I can take this one.
I'm not gonna be an accomplice to that. So I saw nothing.
So he's off with the other kids at school camp. Obviously, he's the teacher, though. So, yeah, he's off at school camp today. He will be back for the weekend, though, so he's probably going to join me for a show on the weekend. So, yeah. All right. A Northern Trooper on Twitch says, "What are your thoughts with bringing to light of cheating in SC? Since SC is a physical-based game, how can they mitigate cheating?" So, what are your thoughts on cheating in Star Citizen, guys?
What kind of cheating?
So, long story short, there's been a video that
like when
came out this week.
when you leave your daily drivership in the hangar and then go out with another one.
Yeah. Cheating.
Well, I mean, if you can go steal someone's car in real life, this is supposed to, this is simulating real life. You should be able to steal a car.
Yeah. So in regards to cheating is never a good thing. I do not agree with cheating games as a whole. But the other part of it is this is a game in development. So they don't have a lot of things in place to stop cheating because the game isn't finished. So it comes like, again, this is another drama thing where it doesn't matter because they can't really fix it until the game is done. So yes, we are playing the game right now, but they've got to stop to fix all this stuff. They're going to be constantly stopping to fix it. So my whole thing is, yes, it kind of sucks for those people that are really into PvSP, and I totally get that. But if they've got to stop to constantly update all the cheats, get rid of all the cheats and all that type of thing all the time, it's just going to take too long. So it's the same thing as it's in active development. You're just going to have to put up with it until the game kind of gets done, and then they'll turn on all the anti-cheat stuff, and it should hopefully mitigate that.
Anti-cheat.
Yeah.
People love some GTA. Yeah, that's one of the best games. You steal everything in that game. I think if it goes too far away from some of those elements, I think that could be tough. I think people that I think keeps people playing GTA for so long now.
Might have to introduce you, Tina, to some of the pirates I know, and you can.
I'll be bummed that all my stuff is gone, but that'll keep me in places where stuff won't get stolen. And then when I'm ready, I'll go to places that I know is
iPad stream,
skeptical.
You can do like a pirate stream and put a pirate hat on. But there'll be some people that see how to piracy. So yeah, you'll work out all right. Space, anything you want to say about the cheating stuff that's been going on? To me, it's a cart before the horse thing. It falls on a manufactured drama for me. I know it's a thing, but like in the video, Avenger One talks about like it's Call to Arms, and it's like, well, it's not a thing because you can't fix it. I know CIG don't like cheating, but again, because it's in active development, they can't kind of fix it. So yeah.
I'll say this. So specifically for anybody who doesn't have the context, the cheating that we're talking about is the ability to press a button and teleport across a star system, turn your Ares Ion into a rapid firing ship, move with 350 Gs of force on you. It's all stuff that like clearly isn't supposed to happen in the game.
Yeah.
And the game being an alpha obviously means that kind of stuff sort of happens when you don't expect it as glitches.
Yep.
I don't think cheating at this point is worth like a call to arms and stuff like that. I do think it's worth bringing awareness to. I've never played an MMO. Like I said, it's my first time getting into this. I did not know cheating at this scale was possible. Like I've never been in an online game, so I didn't know that there was the ability to just pull up a console, press a button and get something. And I think a lot of people come to Star Citizen from games that don't have that kind of stuff, and they should know that that's a possibility. So I think spreading awareness is good. I think the way that people react to it is important. I think it should always be left up to CIG to take care of these things, report someone. If they're cheating, CIG can handle it. If they're not, pass it on, move along. So
like we're before the game's release and all that, so we don't even have like what do they call them in WoW and stuff? You know the people that actually play the game and they fix errors and stuff, like moderators and stuff. We don't even have those people in game yet because the game just doesn't have. It's not finished, so if someone sees cheating, you're about to report it to that. Someone will see that happening and then they'll be removed. It's just like the only people that are really going to care about this are people that are really into the game right now, and let's be honest, most of those are going to be PvPers like Avenger 1, right? But again, he just has to realize that it's a cart before the horse situation. I don't condone cheating. I don't want people cheating in my game, but it's too early. Like you're just not going to get the support you need from that because they don't have enough staff to go around. This is a small independent company, literally, compared to say it's not 2K Games or Activision Blizzard. They started as 8 people in a garage and built this whole company out. And what they say in the letter, 860 people they're at right now. We've only got 4 community managers. They struggle to get things done as it is. So if they've got to get a whole bunch of people in to now both moderate and build the game at the same time, and then you've got to have someone back channel and find, actively searching for cheaters and stuff like that. That's a whole nother team. It's too early.
But it's like fixing bugs and glitches, right? Like if we see it, shouldn't we report it anyways?
But again, but if every time they have to fix one, another one would be made every time they...
Not that they have to fix it, just so that it's logged. That's how issue council works, right? They're not going to fix all the glitches they run into now.
So that's issue council. That's not a moderation team. But my point is, if they want people actively looking for cheaters and people exploiting the game, you would need a team of people to do that, or more stuff. So you can't have that right now. Yeah. So you can't have that right now. It costs too much. We're still making the game, and I think a lot of the trouble that I see come through from most other content creators is that they want things to work right now. We live in that instant gratification society, and they just want it now. And unfortunately, the game is not done, right? So once the game, they kind of come out and go, cool, this is release 1, guys. That's when I'd expect to see all that moderation, anti-cheat, and all that stuff come in. That maybe in the months even leading up to that, But
there's so many people. They're so dedicated to this game. It seems like, I don't know, you might be able to get community members that prove themselves, or they really lose if they don't, like if they do something wrong. But that seems like it could be a nice way, especially at now when it's not finished. If there was a way that could happen, we have mods that are random people we meet on Twitch. I don't know.
The game's being wiped every major patch. Why would you care?
Right,
They're wiping all. There's no progression problems. Like if you get killed by a cheater, oh no, you ruined my fun. Log out, log onto another server and go do it on there. I don't understand. Like again, there's a lot of content creators that seem to just like make this drama because they want the views on YouTube. They are debating your brains into clickbait. That's all it is. For me, it's drama.
I think adding context to the game is important. People should know, hey, was that a glitch that just hit me or not? And people should know, hey, was that person actually manipulating the game or not? They don't have to know it for sure. And like I said, if you report it to CIG, that report isn't the damnation. It would be CIG's opportunity to then look into the situation. So it's not like reporting is a bad thing.
No, I think that's the other part of it. The fact that they are cheaters, not a good thing. What can we do about it? Not much, right? At the moment,
can't do much. No.
Yeah. So there's 2 schools of thought, and as I said, I think the people that affects the most are PvPers. They are, but let's be honest, they're a bit of a salty group as it goes through, right? Because they always want stuff and they want it right now. I want you to fix this. I want you to continue to fix this. I want it balanced. Again, it's all too early. It's just that cart before the horse stuff. And right now, we're just getting salvage. This is like we've got combat. We've got a bit of mining and we're just about to get a bit of salvage. That's how early we are. We've got so much more gameplay to come. We are literally, we're not even crawling yet. We're not even talking, like that's how early on we are. If we look at this in growth terms. You know, we've got so much more to go. And as Tina kind of said, alluded to a little bit, this game is just really big. And that's why we're all here and why we've been following it for so long, is because the potential of it is just huge. And that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that to kind of push off. And have you done much reading into the design documents or anything, Tina, or have you not spent that time? Like, have you kind of looked how deep the gameplay is going to go?
No, I haven't. We are very green.
Do you know what might be interesting for a stream, Space? I can take myself out of this, so to speak, but I was going to say, I was going to go grab John. I reckon if we grab John and Tina and take her to do some mining, it's interesting. What do you reckon? That could be a good stream, yeah? I reckon
possibly, I think.
Yeah, I reckon her. So John's an old guy that me and Space met. He's about 75, best miner in the entire game. And he's quite a character, so I think you and him might get on. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, Space, you're going to say?
No, I just think, Tina, it would be awesome to do like a new player stream of some sort with you, because you're enthusiastic about the game. You've been playing it. You know how it works, but like you said, you haven't gotten to actually explore the game that much. Have you been to all the planets?
Oh no. So I've been on. We've spent a lot of time on this. We've done New Babbage Cabbage. Is it called Microtech? Is the planet New Babbage, or is it Microtech? I'm not sure.
The city Microtech.
New Babbage, yes. Okay, so I've been to Microtech because that's where I keep dying, and then we went to Grim Hex. And then all my stuff wasn't there, so we went back. And then we tried to go somewhere else. No, we went to Lorville. And then we tried to go to the place that's in the opening that's very beautiful when you first turn on the game. Didn't make it.
Horizon.
Yes.
So you've essentially only been to 2 planets. That's interesting. So you've got Horizon to go to Hardcore.
3.
Last time I played, I got to see the 890 jump.
Oh, okay.
That was fun. That was cool.
And then she said she tried to go to Horizon but didn't make it. So she hasn't been to Horizon and hasn't been to Arcor. But there you go. So that's pretty green. That is pretty green. Yeah,
it's been like 10 to 12 hours, and I've only been to 2 planets. There's so much to do without needing to go anywhere. And again, I started I did 1 mission. It was a Christmas mission, and then we got distracted.
Oh yeah, she got very excited
I haven't
about
done a mission.
The little boxes. Did you know they had? Well, you've probably missed out. Then they had Chinese New Year. They actually had Chinese envelopes that you could.
Oh yes, I did get it. I got all the little Lunar New Year things. It was wonderful, and they're all saved, and they won't go away. I hear they're in my desktop hanger. No, browser hanger. Yes, and so I'm very happy about that. We got those.
How do you feel about because you've been here 6 months, so you've probably seen like 3 or 4 events. They do a lot of these kinds of events that are like both in and outside of the game. Do you enjoy them?
Oh, so far I've just seen the presents and then this Lunar New Year. Mm-hmm. And I mean, for someone like me, that's the highlight of the game, at least at the moment. Because I still don't know what I'm missing by not doing a mission yet. Maybe today we might play some Star Citizen this afternoon. I might need to try this mission finally. Try a mission. But so I've been really just, having a lot of fun with the present collecting. I didn't turn them in. I wanted to keep them all in my ship. I just put them in the back of our space bug whale and just left them there. And they look lovely because I can't decorate, I don't think, any more than putting presents in the back. That's what I really want in this game, is more decorating.
A few people on Twitch are suggesting, Space, that you take it to Jumptown.
Jumptown?
Oh my
Is it like where the 890 jumps are built? So
Jumptown is where they make drugs, lots of drugs, and people go there to fight over the drugs because they make lots of money. So it's lots of combat.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Everyone, when I said I was going to go to Grim Hex, they're like, why would you want to go there? Don't go there. Oh no, this is going to go terribly. I'm not sure what they mean. It was very funny looking, but I did not die.
A lot of combat happens
And there's a
around
few
there.
extra trash on the floor.
Yeah.
Around there.
Yeah, so you can get shot.
So I could have gotten shot out of the sky on my way
Oh
there.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, so I just got lucky. Okay,
Yep.
They love
got
that.
lucky. Got lucky. Well, there we go. There we go.
All right, next question from North Renton Trooper says, what do you okay, Brit of broken English here, so it says, what do you outside of SC? I think he means what do you do outside of SC? Hobbies, work, career. I think that's for, I don't know who that's for, so I assume we can just all answer that. So do you want to go first, Tina? Hobbies, work, career, outside of SC.
Hobbies, work, career. We'll start with work. At the moment, I've been doing UI UX design, user experience designing with web applications like both for mobile and web browsers, and I use like Adobe products and whatnot for that, and Figma. For at the moment, it's been like government initiatives. That's why before moving to Vegas, I was in DC and doing that stuff, being a secret agent. No. But I have done other things like social media management and I don't know. I just try to have fun.
Is that your code name, 000?
It should be.
Yeah. That's your spy name.
My spy name.
Yeah, 00. Double OT, someone said in chat. Yeah.
Double OT.
Yeah. It's too backwards, but yeah.
What? I've been not been doing a lot of games because I really like to go outside and whatnot and do physical activities and whatnot. I'm very much into sports. One of my hopes and dreams is to be in a movie as a stunt double. It's one of those things I've always wanted to do since like middle school, elementary school. Always slowly working towards that goal. I've taken seminars and classes. I do mixed martial arts. I really like Muay Thai, very bad at it. Learning. I really want to get set on fire, but you have to have your SAG card to get set on fire legally.
There's a quote. I want to get set on fire. Wow. Okay.
I mean, you're freezing when you're set on fire.
Yeah.
The gel is very cold, and you're just covered head to toe and stuff. It's
I'm trying to live in a place where they don't put roadblocks in front of getting set on fire.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, it's really stupid that you have to have a stupid card that you pay a lot of money for something so simple as fire.
Thanks,
Obama.
But that's the movie business.
So I think both me and Space do this kind of full time though. So that's our career now at the moment, isn't it, Space? Me and you?
Yeah.
YouTubing?
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
My whole thing right now is
Career.
Twitch streaming.
I guess I'd be part-time though. Because I have a few other things that limit what I can do. So Space and I are kind of that. I guess what else? And career. So work, career, hobbies. What's your hobbies, Space? What do you do when you're not YouTubing?
Not YouTubing.
The dog? You're a big fan of your dog.
It takes so much time.
Hanging out with the fam.
Honestly, like if I'm not at this computer, I'm kind of just going and hanging out with my wife. I've got a dog. We actually recently added some stuff to the bottom floor of our house to have like a at-home gym.
Yeah.
So like hanging out with the dog, trying to work out in the mornings.
Nice.
And just trying to keep in touch with people back home. A lot of living here is just trying to maintain life.
We might talk about that in a little bit, actually, because you've had some stuff go down, obviously, so we'll kind of address that elephant in the room. But for me, hobbies is board games, 3D printing. I'm getting a little bit into photography since I got the camera.
I want to do that.
What was that? Board games or 3D printing?
3D printing,
Yeah.
but camera too. I love vintage cameras. I've got a Braun, a Nizio, old Super 8 camera. It's like my pride and joy. I love it.
Well, we'll talk about maybe after stream in private. We'll talk about some 3D printing stuff. So yeah, I can recommend some good starting 3D printers for you. They're not too expensive. Yeah. So Space. Let's talk about Turkey. It's delicious
Okay.
in sandwiches. But how's things been for you over there of late? Are they on the mend? Are they going down the rabbit hole? Are they getting worse? Like, what's going on? Is it on the? I'm hoping it's getting better, but yeah.
I don't want to talk the topic to death.
Yep. You don't have to. We'll talk as long as you want.
I'll put it into simple terms because I do think people need to kind of hear this. So there were recent earthquakes in Turkey that devastated the country, but the biggest thing that they revealed was just that the government is not. God, I hope they're not watching this. The government is not maintaining regulations in buildings in one of the most earthquake-prone places in the world. So we saw, I think it's 40,000+ people died 2 weeks ago. Government came in late, didn't have the organization to handle the job, botched the job quite a bit. A lot of people haven't been found. They came in, told people their houses were safe, so people moved back in their houses. And then this week we got hit with 2 more earthquakes and people died. So it's very clear that the government just doesn't care. And there is expected to be a bigger earthquake here in a much more populated area in Istanbul where they don't have the infrastructure. And everybody's kind of just sitting in their homes wondering if our houses can withstand an earthquake. Because like we had an earthquake here a few months ago. There are definitely cracks in the foundation. We don't know if the regulations are up to par on this house. And everybody we talk to around Turkey is in the same mindset. Like everybody is just kind of scared that they're going to wake up under a building the next day. So it's been draining and heavy over the last couple of weeks.
Sounds like it comes down to money, as it always seems to do. Like they don't want to put in the like. Well, I'm just going through my brain. Like if your house, like you were mentioning, the cracks in the foundation, they don't want to help you guys repair it. So it's like all about money. Well, if we just don't repair it and there's no more earthquakes, we'll be good. But as soon as you have,
it's not even that, dude. If we had them repair it, there's no way to guarantee that it got repaired correctly, because the people who are guaranteeing the regulations aren't doing their job.
They're not trained.
They are giving amnesties, what they call it, to contractors to say, hey, you don't have to get this building up to code. Just pay us a fine, put it off 5 more years. And they've done that 3 times now, and that's really what's proving to people that this isn't a good situation.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so that's the current situation.
Hello to expat Brett that's in chat. So she was just asking, how did Tomato end up in Turkey? She's asking how you got to Turkey. So do you want to tell that?
Oh yeah, my wife's from here. Yeah. We. Oh gosh, I won't
get into screaming.
That one's gonna.
he got dragged there.
No, I came here. I came here happily. Yeah, I won't get into the details of all that, but I came here to be with my wife.
Yeah. That's all. I think that's all people need to know. So you went there.
Trump's America. Yeah. Complicated things.
All right. Next question. Fifth Thread says, what ways can Star Citizen strike a balance of usability and cool factor regarding the UI? So I think that's tailored at you, Tina, specifically that one.
Cool factor. Cool. Like, okay, wait, say it again.
So they're saying, what ways can Star Citizen strike a balance of usability and cool factor regarding the UI? So one of the things that I'll probably add in here is they've shown that they're gonna have a 3D UI. I don't know if you've seen that yet. Where you can walk up and it's like full hologram. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like how you go into you see. It's kind of funny. You see the people waiting, the NPCs waiting to talk to you, but then you have to go to the right to look at the little iPad screen. I do wish the iPad was just in front of the NPC instead of to the right, because I keep walking up to them thinking that's where something's going to happen.
It will eventually. They'll be like quest givers and stuff. So they're gonna have you interacting with them. They did have
the little iPad right in front of them on the table.
You'll eventually probably find some NPCs you can actually talk to like that, and you'll be able to interact with them and talk to them. Like for example, you can talk to the at Microtech. You can talk to the hologram there, and she'll tell you jokes.
Yeah, I think I talked to a bartender on Grim Hex, kind of like, he gives you the beer, which was cute. Though I wish, that they would go through the extra effort of if he's not serving anyone, that he'd like sit down or relax while he's waiting or something. It's very like rigid and just they're like mannequins until you get up close.
We don't pay our people to relax. They can't sit down. They get fired.
Yeah.
It'll make it more realistic.
We actually torture them and make them stand around with their arms up for hours on end. Just absolute brutal.
Yeah, human-centered stuff.
That's it. All right. Is there anything you want to add to that one, Space? Do you think there's anything they could add for usability and cool factor on the UI?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing I'd like to see UI-wise is and I think this could come with the new player experience at some point, but like the use of AR and AR overlays, because like you get into this game, and Tina, maybe you can speak towards this. I haven't talked to newcomers about this really, but like I feel like you get into Star Citizen and there's a lot of stuff to interact with, but then at the same time, a lot of it you can't, and you don't know what is and is not interactable. I feel like it'd be great if they had a way to like see which item is interactable.
Isn't that when you hit F and then you can see what you can?
But that only does it when you're right in front of it. I'm talking like, so they just introduced a new scanning feature that can do this for like a whole room. So you scan the room and it pops up all the things that you might be able to. No, it's paying for better tech. 900 years in the future. Come on.
Well, I mean, if it's going to be like real life, you should be able to pick up almost anything. It should be a surprise that you can't pick it up. I mean, you can't pick up a table because it's heavy or something. Maybe you need two players to pick up the table. If there's a lot of stuff on the table, you got to take it off the table. But do you know you
know about the tractor beams? You can pick things up with tractor beams. Have you done that yet?
Oh, yes. I saw someone do that. That was cool. They picked up a really big box. That was excellent.
Wait till they knock you out and pick up your body. Because they can knock you out, pick you up like starfish style.
They do that.
But yeah, I like. I don't adding. It's more like real life, right? I don't like in games when you go up to things and everything like sparkles when you're close to it, or you walk into a room and everything glistens because everything is pick upable. Yeah. If it's supposed to be like we're real life, then it would just be sitting there, and when you go up to it, you find out it's pick upable. Yeah, seems normal for me.
Real quick, Mr. Stunner, thank you for the 5 gifted subs on Twitch. They've gone to Vino35, Carlos R72, Migor 59, McBadges. Oh, Badges has finally got a sub, and Maggles Muppet. I swear people deliberately pick names to stump you on Twitch. It's like a thing. I don't know. Have you guys found that? That's
right? Oh my god, names? I'm always so terrified to say names.
Yeah.
I have a couple novelty accounts that I made just to make people trip up in their chats.
Oh,
some people get so mad though. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have no idea how to say your name, but Zublar. I don't know. Like whatever.
You just go with the first 3 letters. Just act like it was a nickname. Like, yeah, I see you, June. Mm-hmm. Yep. Of course. Welcome back.
My housemate likes to do it. He'll come into one of my streams and he'll like give me the gifted sub for the month, and he deliberately does it because he's got this name that anyway. That's yeah. All right. Just going back to the questions. Give me a second. All right. So next one is Ace Hambone says, Tina, what gameplay do you enjoy the most in Star Citizen?
Oh, gameplay. Like just aspect of the game, do you think?
You pick. You interpret the question how you want to interpret the question. Have you tried anything besides? Like, have you tried? It sounds like you've just been exploring the game at the moment. So, have you tried any combat stuff? Have you tried any mining? Have you tried any salvage or anything like that? You've done a little bit of tractor beams. You said you really
people have told me to get a gun. I did get a gun, but then I died and I lost the gun. We do not have a gun anymore.
It sounds like if you go.
But
I was just gonna say, if you go do some stuff in space, it sounds like you'll learn a fair bit, because space is really. He's got a whole series where he shows new people how to play the game, so it might be good for you guys to do a joint stream.
That might be a bit little misleading, though. I do take new players out to play the game, but I will not call myself a veteran. I'm playing the games plenty, but there are a lot of newcomers that do better than me. Yeah. Like, remember the whole helmet thing? I always forget my helmet. It's indicative.
Yeah.
I do really like. I've ridden on the hover bike speeder thing. That was fun. But and jumped out of a ship while on the hover bike. That was really cool. Didn't die. Didn't die till later. Was able to get on a gurney and had another player push me around all over Microtech, and then we found out the hard way that you cannot go into the metro while on the gurney. He was going full speed and trying to send me down the stairs, and you get hit by like an invisible wall, and you just kind of like fall off, and the gurney goes the other way. That was fun.
Like real life.
Well, I'll give you a follow-up question to that one then. What gameplay would you like to see? So obviously, have you looked at any of the stuff like we've got medical coming in, repair? There's all these other different things. So what type of thing or future gameplay are you potentially looking forward to?
Oh, I would like to see more interaction between the characters and the NPCs, like just being able to like you brush against them and you're pushed or shoved, you can hit them or poke them, especially like at in the moment when other things don't work. It would be cool to be able to have more interaction with the people that you do have.
Do you know what profession you want to do though?
My chat says more fashion.
Yeah. Yeah. They're saying it here as well. But well, I've got a follow-up question for that in a second. But what actual gameplay are you looking for? Like, do you want to be or traditionally, I don't know, like, do you want to be a chef? Do you want to be a medical person? Do you want to be an engineer? Do you want to be a combat pilot? What's the actual gameplay that speaks to you? Like, if you can envision yourself 1,000 years in the future, what would your job be, Tina?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I hope I don't need a job.
So I think if there was a movie set, you could set yourself on fire and you could do that. So maybe you're just going to be a dead person in space. That's your job. You could be that
was tough. I wish I had a cool answer, but I mean, I wouldn't want to be bogged down to always like cooking every day or always having to rescue people as a medic every single day. That sounds boring.
We know this guy.
That's why we play the games, to get out of the everyday thing. But so I'd like to be able to do whatever I guess I feel like that day. I probably would be but that's kind of what I do.
Do you know what
I like to do that already. I like to do everything.
Do you know what an uwu girl is?
No. Oh. Is that the letters? A UWU?
Yeah. There's an old man that we know called...
Like little blush marks?
There's an old man we know called Old Man Hurston. He's looking for uwu girls. So yeah, if you want to do that,
what does that mean?
You have to know what I'm talking about.
A lady of the night?
Oh boy.
Yeah, they're like cat girls essentially. But yeah, it's a joke. So Average got a personality. He plays as a character called Old Man Hurston, and the running joke is that he has a lot of uwu girls because he works at
Moe girls.
Uwu. I guess kind of like that. I guess, but they're cat girls.
Just cutesy girls that follow you around.
Yeah, but he's Old Man Hurston, so he's got so much. Yeah, he's got so much.
This seems sussy. This is pretty sussy.
That's what we said.
Hurston, so,
Hurston is very sus. So yeah,
just stay away from them. They're weird. They're crazy.
All right. So yeah, my follow-up question was to be then, as a lady, what is some things that you would like to see in the game? Because right now the population of this game is very male focused, and there are a few other female content creators I've talked to, and they've given things like fashion, as people have said, and some other gameplay they want to get into. So there's another female content creator by the name of Buster the Destroyer, and she's really interested in fashion. And I do know from CIG coming down the pipe that they are working a lot of female fashion. So they're working on dresses, and there's even, I've heard, not confirming, but I've heard talk of potentially makeup as well and things like that down the pipe. So you and even like hairdressing and stuff like that. Because if they want to bring those people, if they want to bring ladies into the game, they're going to have to give things that you ladies are interested in. So what are some things that you would like to see?
I'm getting makeup too. Don't discount me. All right.
I'm not, but I'm generalizing. All right, I'm generalizing, but I'm just saying what's something female focused things do you think that would bring more women into the game? Is my question. What would you like to see brought into the game that would bring more of your side of the fence into the game?
I hope they do more research into it, like some good old UX research, because I thinking that makeup and clothes is what's going to get women into the game seems very like going to a toy store and making blue and pink of toys. So really hope put some research into that. Because I love like some unisex clothes. It's just fine with me. It would be nice if it just clipped to the shape better.
Yep.
It would be nice if there's different shapes too, right? So Star Wars MMO, you could be really big or really small.
Yep.
They have makeup
That's
and
coming.
stuff. Like that's really just basic things. And
So
you should
wait-
be able to have the fashion fit to that.
The weight stuff is coming. They did mention that, and I know not
Did
all.
they?
Wait, yeah.
We're gonna be able to change the character.
Yep, it's coming.
Where are we?
If you eat
weren't
a
we
lot
for,
of candy bars, does your weight get?
but weren't we for years? Weren't they like, oh? I thought they were saying
No, the last
they
thing
can't do that because
the last thing I remember, I'll go over it with Albert, but I'm pretty sure I remember there was a thing on weight. I'll go back and check, but yeah, again, I'll figure, and if I find the stuff, I'll link it to you. The other thing I was just going to say real quick is, not all women, like I know I'm being generally stereotypical, but there is cross overlap, right? So there are things that men like that women like, but I'm trying to think of things that, like, it's very hard sometimes for you as a man to put yourself in a female position and say what's something that you girls would like to see. So that's why I was asking that question. So, but by the same token, on the other side of the foot, I know Mrs. Tomato is an absolute murderer. She loves killing everything. So I know. Am I not wrong when I say that, Space? She is like a murderer. She just
she
kills
wants to start
everything.
a pirate clan.
Yeah, she's a woman after my own heart. She loves the Redeemer. She will go out and just slaughter everything. Which what I liked it was Paul Shelley's favorite ship should be Space Tomato's, Mrs. Tomato's favorite ship, I should say. But maybe we should ask the same question of Mrs. Actually, that's what you should probably do, Space, is get Tina and Mrs. Tomato on a podcast. I think that would be interesting because then you'd be in a world of hurt and it'd be funny to see. I would log in to see that. You
guys have the same taste in colors, so there's that.
Yeah. So but you get what I mean. So is there like so I guess I kind of come back to what do you think are some more female focused gameplay and things that they could bring in to draw more of you ladies in? Because right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, the demographic is literally 99% male, 1% female. That is what the analytics tell us. So what do you think they can do to draw more women into the game? It is essentially my question.
Murder.
More murder. Besides more murder.
All kinds of things, right? I mean, I do want a lot of more interactivity. I think it'd be fun if there's more stuff beyond being. I really love the idea of being a space cowboy and some gunslinging, and that is like really harnessed, and they're really pushing like a narrative of nitty gritty with metal colors and dark blues and going out and being a pirate, all those things. It would be cool to know that you have some of the other elements, like, and they show that they have design, like it's well designed, but how can we mold it? I want more consequences. A lot of things just in real life, right, are consequence based, and I mean, pets would be great, that'd be awesome.
But they're coming. They're on the thing. So what I'm hearing though is a little bit of the stereotypical. It's too early. There's not enough there yet. Is that what you're kind of saying? Like
there's not enough to,
yeah. Okay.
Especially if you're gonna run into like a lot of guys in the game, and they're gonna be rude or douchebags, or I don't know. You want to like be able to just. More consequences.
Have you run?
Right?
Have you run into that a lot as a lady, as a female gamer? Have you actually run into a lot of that in Star Citizen? Have you run into anything like that? Because I haven't seen it myself. I found that this community is a little bit more welcoming than most.
I think it could be something that people are worried about, right? Like, so as someone who's seen a lot of, I guess, social media news that tells you like, oh, don't play this game or that game, or I wouldn't get into this because you're just going to be hit with a bunch of people on the voice chat just yelling at you. I haven't experienced it myself, but you hear about people being very sad about interactions with other real people. And it may be, I would assume that there might be people who are nervous to join because they think it's just going to be another community that's going to be really annoying. And they don't need to join another one. They've gotten invested in this one and they've figured out how to handle it and get over it. And they like their space. Why should they join another annoying space? Like, how can we like show that it's not annoying? That would be nice. Because I was worried. Yeah, for sure. When I was we turned off the global chat. We turn off mic things. I'm just playing with me. I'm reading chat. Just here and there, if some people get really into it if I don't do something right, and it's like, cool down, just chill out. We're just exploring.
Yeah.
It's just chill.
That's a good point. Like, this game is not, it's not even a complete game. So on top of the fact that you're telling someone to jump into a new community, you're also telling them to invest into a game that they have to struggle through playing. So it would be nice to make it more.
Every time I start a new video, people are like, why I do see like, are you sure you want to play this? It's not done. Or I've invested in this and it's still not done. I'm sad about that. Like they seem to want you to stop. There's several people that will want you to stop playing.
I think
maybe less of that. Get the ladies.
You having your background in development and UI design and stuff like that, you'd be used to seeing things constructed though. So I think knowing your background, you would be more educated than most walking into it. Right, like there are some people, like it seems to be a lot younger people. They struggle with the in development stuff because they just haven't that infant gratification I was talking about earlier. They when a game comes out, it's a game, but this is out and it's not a game. It's being built into it, and that they struggle with that perception.
As someone who, I guess I am a little different because whenever I play a game, I die a million times. And so a lot of people are really stressed out about dying in games. And that's like, I mean, that happens when right when I jump on to any game, I'm playing for like 10 seconds and I'm dead. So the last thing that's exciting or nerve wracking or means anything to me is death. Or a bug. I pretty much put myself into the buggy areas by accident every time I play a game. So I don't know. I don't end up caring about those things and find them quite funny. They can sometimes are the funniest part of the game. I don't
know. Space, do you want to read the next question? Do you know where we're up to? I'm trying to teach you to use this bot, by the way. So
where are we at?
Very mediocre. Next question is by Very Mediocre. Can you see that?
Let's see.
So I've ticked off the ones we've asked.
There it is. Okay. Yeah. With persistent HABs coming up at some point, how far out do you expect being able to build HABs is? So that takes a few different features into account. Basically, if we are going to be able to have persistent, because they added that to the roadmap today, persistent HABs where you can go back to your home. It's always the same home. It's always in the same place. Like, all that stuff that you crowded in your cargo bay, you can go dump in your apartment. And they're asking, since that's coming up, how long until we might be able to build our own?
And I also want to ask another question. Does that mean we can never move home again? So once you pick Horizon, you'll never be able to move to Lawville.
You just have to get your second house. Your summer house, your winter house.
It also brings in
citizen.
It also brings in things like what do you call it? When someone comes into the feng shui of your house, what do they call that? Those people an interior design, because you're actually going to come in and lay out. Like, is that going to be a profession game? Like, you get people to come around and they'll, old man Hurston's so wealthy he can just come in and have someone do the interior design and layout of his whole home.
Just be like, yes, and this is the wall where I will put the skulls of my enemies. Thank you.
Oh, interior design jobs. I like that.
That's what Mrs. Tomato's going to be doing.
Should be a job.
This will be all the times I killed Space Toomato. This is when he pissed me off last week.
All my various sub gear that she's stolen.
Yes. Just all trophies. Yeah, that'd be funny. All right.
But
go ahead.
No, actually, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask Tina the question. So, Tina,
Tina.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on being able to, customize your HAB?
Oh, I mean, I don't know why we can't do it already. Customizing my space, anything customizing I want, and I don't know why it's not already there. It just seems it would add so much more for me. As someone who likes to collect things, I'm very much like a little hoarder, and I want all these things and I wanted to be able to display them. That would keep me, that would interest me in going other places faster and exploring even more, because I know that there's just something I can do with my findings, my treasures. So.
well, you'll probably be pleased to know not only just your HAB, you'll be able to customize your hangar, your ship, Eventually, you'll be able to potentially own shops and build shops as well. And
that'll be awesome. Yeah, having a little shop, that would be cute. Like, so as someone who doesn't know what I would want to be as a profession in the game, but if I could just go around collecting things and then I can sell them to people that never travel over there, that's kind of cool. That sounds like a cool job.
Yeah, that is.
I like that.
That's one of the things that I've wanted to do in game. That's really cool.
Customization is a must. I am really surprised that you can't do more with your character, like makeup and hair. That's just something that's in any game. That's not really. I don't even think of it as a feature.
Still,
so that is surprising.
I think it's all coming. Just cut for the horse type of stuff. So yeah, because we're mainly looking at Squadron 42 in the single player game, all that stuff is all extra, and we just got to give it some time. Someone in chat said morph eye for the space guy. So like queer eye for the straight guy.
Oh,
but more,
yeah. So it took me a minute.
And morphologist.
We have some grand designs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So more.
I want to watch grand designs.
So morphologist is an architect, but he also follows Star Citizen. So you've got to connect a few dots there. But if you connect a few dots, it's actually kind of funny. So morph eye for the space guy is actually. Actually, I want to see that now, like a skit. I want Morph to do a skit. Morph for the straight guy. I think that'd be quite fun. For the space guy, I think that'd be quite funny if you did that right. All right. Next question. We'll tick that one off. Stefan the Yeti says, "Do you think they could color code the inventory background?" That's not a bad idea. That would work. So going back to the inventory,
there's gotta be more than that. I mean, if I just click those tabs and the colors change, I still don't know what they mean. It's got to be words or some iconography or something.
That's what I was about to say. Iconography.
I just flip through, but I wouldn't know what I was flipping through. There's so many things that I've clicked, but I still don't know where I'm going just because I click on it.
You can have like a little person one for your personal inventory, a little ship for the the one they use off the asset manager, the little ship. They could put that up there for the vehicle one, and if it's a vehicle, it could be like a cyclone or something. And then if it's the local inventory, they could have like a space station, or like if you're a city icon or something like that. So you can kind of tell what the inventory is. Yeah, I could see that working. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
I've got a question.
Go for it.
It took me a long time. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, it took me a long minute on like the first time I played. Like people didn't even know how to tell me in chat because it was just confusing. But to leave a space station, I need to go to the friends and then unfriend the hangar.
You've got to contact. You got to call them. Yeah,
but you have to go into your like friends area. You have to go to your friends and friend them and unfriend them every single time. Very weird.
I think eventually
natural.
Literally in the update you've been waiting 6 months for, they fix that.
Yeah. So I always find that funny. I'm like, okay, let's go unfriend the hangar. Let's go to our friends list and
we are no
them.
Longer your friend. New best friend is that space station.
Yeah, it's very weird. Very weird.
I've got a question. Do you wish that the game had a functional third-person mode, or do you like first-person?
Oh. I do not know how to land unless I can. Yes, I have no idea how to land my ship unless I can see the whole ship. It is too hard. It is way too hard.
I'm going to blow your mind.
So much easier if I can.
Ready for me to blow your mind? Right? If you hover,
let's go. Wait. Okay, I'm ready.
If you hover over the pad and hold down the N key by default, it'll auto land.
Another key?
You know the
hover over the pad.
So you know how you press.
How close to the pad do I have to be?
Just over it. But if you know how you press N to lower the landing gear. If you just hold that same key, so hold the N for Nelly key, when you're over a pad, it'll just auto rotate the ship and land for you. You should try that sometime.
So I just got to be close to the pad, already have the landing gear out, and hit and hold N again.
That's it. And it'll automatically position the ship in the center of the pad and land.
But you must be exactly 3.2 meters above the pad.
You have to be fairly close to it, but yes, it'll auto land for you. So you don't.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing they need. There should be a manual. Like, I should be able to hit M or something for manual, and then my little character, he reaches down in the glove box, and he pulls out the book.
They work.
A little 3-ring binder.
Yep. Well,
I want to see the binder. We flip to the landing page.
I think eventually they'll make.
So fun.
I think eventually they'll make that a part of the Moby Glass, but they are working on that this quarter. They're working on the new player experience, so hopefully we're going to get some new tutorials.
The Moby Glass, that's the like Apple Watch that pops up.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's your iPhone of the future. Yeah.
Yes. It's like a little. Okay. See, I don't see anything that's called it a Moby Glass. It's does it say it somewhere in the corner of the screen?
So
There's so much on the screen.
So if you actually go, you're in Microtech at the moment. If you actually go into one of the places of Microtech, they actually sell the Moby glasses there. That's where they're made. They're actually made on Microtech. So Microtech is actually like the Apple of the future, essentially. And
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard about it.
And if you talk to Astropub or Algrid, they're the lore guys, and they'll tell you all about Microtech. But long story short, that planet was chosen because they do a lot of computer stuff, and it allows them, because the planet is very cold, it allows them to cool the computers for cheaper. It's actually cheaper to heat the areas for the humans than it is to cool the area for the computers. So
Let's see, all of that. How are you supposed to know that? They need little plaques with pictures like of what it used to be when it was under construction. That'd be so stinking cute. I mean, I knew it was a techie place, but that it made tech or what tech, there's nothing like when you're walking around on it that tells you that, at least not while you're running. I had no idea. Yeah. And those are just like little things that would make it feel more like a real place. Like when you go into a historic building, they have those plaques, some old pictures. That would be really cute.
So on the website, there's a Galactopedia, and there's actually a person called...
On the website, but we're in the game!
Yeah. I always get a Sherry Heiberg, or Heiden. I always get her last name, I butcher her last name, but she's the archivist, and she built that whole Galactopedia, and so you can go on there, and there's all this information on there. So she runs that whole thing. She's all about maintaining and archiving the lore. That's her whole job. And so
that's so easy to miss. I had no idea. That needs to be in the game somehow. That must.
Well, I
used the website to log in. That was it. But buy my ship, get the account, and I haven't really been on since.
That's a whole nother issue with the website. That's something else we go over. Like,
oh my gosh,
there's actually a really good star map on the website that they actually won awards for. It's a literally award-winning website. The star map on the website is better than the one we have in game. It's crazy. So yeah, that's a whole.
Oh, that's topic. Weird.
So yeah,
it's weird.
So if you have
could fix that.
If you have the actual website and you just put /star map, you'll get that, or /Galactopedia, and you'll get that as well. So yeah, is
it like a clickable, or is it just an image? Because if it's an image, they should just plaque it on the wall on every ship.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's like yeah. I think you'll just have to go see it for yourself because it's fully interactive in 3D. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. You're gonna see that and be like, put this UI in the game, please. There's colors and stuff.
Colors. I've had a really hard time in space. Like people are like, yeah, just go to the next place, but I'm moving the camera all around, and there's like a million diamonds, and I can't find the one diamond I need to start the jump.
Oh gosh,
that's very difficult. Oh, we have another cat. Hey, there she goes.
All right, next question from Fifth Dread, who says, as a new player, what was the hardest struggle you faced when starting the game, and how can they improve the new user experience? So I think you kind of just tipped the hat to that about tutorials and stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that bugs me the most is I think the UI is decent and it's better than other games. Like I had to just stop playing Red Dead. I was like, I'm going to have to go look at this off stream and just focus like homework to be able to play. And I didn't need to do that for Star Citizen, which was nice. But there's every key on the keyboard does something, and I can't remember them all. Every time I turn the game on, it feels like I have to relearn all the keys. I probably wouldn't have played again without chat because they keep reminding me what the keys are. And I really appreciate chat.
I think someone needs to show you in the options. There's actually a screen that shows where all the keys are. It's like a photo of the keyboard, and it shows you what they all are in the options. So yeah, someone.
I like to hit F And then, you know, I'm hoping that when I have F and I'm close enough to something that it will function. And then when it doesn't, I am disappointed. You know, I'd hope that there's a million buttons when you're. Yeah, that's something
coming.
That'd be really nice.
They've got a whole interaction
realistic
system coming, but yeah, it's coming. Thank you, JB099, for the subscribe to tier 1. Oh, I've not seen that before. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you too over here. Mine as well with the gifted subs. Thank you.
See, there it is. First 3 letters. JTB.
JTB.
Yeah.
JB. JTB. Thank you.
All right. Fortina. This is from It's Just Strict. It's just right. Oh, it's just right. This is the guy you were talking about before. Yeah, it's just right. Fortina, how did the cooked cabbage turn out? Yeah, how did the soup turn out? I did watch that, by the way. Yeah, so how did the soup turn out? Actually, wasn't it really salty? You said it was super salty or some shit.
Yeah, we did it again. We did a 2.0. The second one turned out way better, and I'm going to make it. I have the video, the VOD. I'm going to make it into a video. New Babbage Cabbage 2.0. It was so good that I'm going to make it into a recipe. We're going to make it the unofficial Star Citizen cookbook recipe.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to add some Star Citizen recipes, we should start a cookbook. We really should. All different places. Cookbook.
So
I think that
sounds
be
like
really cute. We can get it published. We can.
I think we might have found your profession. You are the Swedish chef of the Star Citizen universe.
Yeah. So the soup did turn out really, really salty.
Yeah. Need to get myself some new Babbage Cabbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to trademark that.
Yeah, you should trademark that. New Babbage Cabbage. That's
They actually okay.
That could be your stream cooking name. New Babbage Cabbage. Yeah.
The events that they do with like the Lunar New Year and stuff, they sometimes do this. I think they're usually around Halloween. They'll do like cooking contests where you have to cook a meal and then like take a picture of it or something and you can win stuff.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
They should do that for like a Thanksgiving-esque but a worldly version.
They did one for St. Patrick's, I think, too. So you might have one coming up soon. I'd keep an eye out.
If you're a planet that is very lusciously green, it needs to be based off of that one.
Believe
That'll
it or
be an Ellis.
Yeah, I was going to say
there's literally a planet in Ellis called Green.
Yep. But
perfect.
But I was going to say, in game right now, it'd probably still be Microtech. Those green bands on Microtech would probably be the greenest. Is there anywhere greener than Microtech right now? The Savannah biodome's on Hurston, but it's a bit polluted. So yeah.
I mean, if you ask the Hurstons, they think it's green, but you know.
Yeah.
We must find foods that rhyme with planet names, and that's the ones we will cook.
All right, Space.
But yeah, that'd be fun.
You can do the next question, Space. Go for it. I'm teaching him on the fly here, guys. That's why he's struggling. I deliberately make him struggle so he can figure out how to use it.
I keep clicking out of it to look at the cameras, and then I lose my spot.
Oh, you don't.
Next question. There's an idea circulating that different laser gun sizes should use different colors on the color spectrum. Red being size 1, purple being size 10. Your thoughts? And
who was it from?
What are each of the colors? This one is coming from Almond Butter.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
Almond Butter.
So color coding the lasers so you can tell that they're stronger, essentially, is what he's saying there. So Tina, what are your thoughts on that?
I think the beams should be wider, more chunky. We'd be like, oh wow, this is powerful. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Doesn't mean it's the best, but
yeah, my brain
I really understand.
My brain more likely goes to different colors for different types, and not as in size, but like like blue for energy, and purple for corrosive or something like that. That's where my brain goes. And I'm more with Tina. If you can physically tell it's larger or longer, might be the way to go for.
Or maybe like it's shakier, like it's more hard to hold. Like you think of Harry Potter, and when they're really doing the spells, it's foaming and they have to struggle to hold it, the wand and stuff. That would simulated that it was more powerful in another thing, and that seems successful. So I think that would be.
Yeah, and also you've got to think of the gameplay connotations. If you can tell that it's a different size gun just from the color, that gives a lot away. There's no mystery in it. It's like, oh, I could see that guy all the way over there and he's firing a green thing, so he's a size 5 or whatever, and it's like, well, I'm not going to go attack him because he's a size 5 and I've only got size 4, so there's no danger there. It removes that gameplay connotation. You
should be more worried because they made it like a gold plated gun and you're like, man, this guy's serious. and they, like you see a regular plasma thing and you see a gold plated one, you were a little more worried about the gold one. I would.
What about you, Space? What's your take on that?
I don't think I'd be super keen to see like a bunch of colors all over the place. I don't have a preference either way. I don't think. I personally would really just like to see the impact effects be a little more exciting. I want to see energy splashing across my shield, you know?
Yeah,
Give me that nice cool. like you said with the Harry Potter stuff. I always imagined when they did that, it looked kind of like glowing, colorful milk.
Yeah, it had foam, literal foam they put in it as well. I would like the character to shake too, that when you're holding it or whatever yourself would have more of a reaction. It's harder like that. So keeping steady is part of it being stronger, right? So
give me that like that Gandalf jowls shaking from the power. Right? Yeah, need that.
Well, I was thinking of,
it's like
so I was thinking of the javelin shield tech that they showed off like a year or so ago. Because so you're talking about maybe improving that somewhat, or is there a way they could, in the shields themselves, as the shields get shot, we could tell what size they were? So like, I'm just thinking if there's a way they could do that. That's what I was thinking. I'm sorry if I sounded.
No, just more VFX.
Yeah.
From shots colliding would help. I think. I mean, obviously.
No,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
I was just gonna say I don't think that would help to denote the power of the gun. That's an effect I'd like to see more of. I don't know about the color stuff.
Yeah. It's difficult because I can see why people would like that, but you've also got to bring it back to gameplay connotations. And I'm kind of like what I initially said. Like, to me, I think it gives too much away. But yeah, it'd be cool if there was a way you could tell certain things, but I don't think that's one you need to know. I'm more like I think it's better to know that they're firing like, you know, creative shots, or, you know, we for example, you instantly know the difference between a laser and a ballistic. I think that's important, but I don't think it's important to know how powerful it is, because again, this is the other part of it. If you know the ship, you generally know what size the guns are. So it makes a knowledge base. It's like, okay, that person's in a Redeemer. So essentially I'm dealing with 2 size 5 turrets as their biggest thing, and they can roughly shoot this far because I know their guns. So I don't think it's super required, because if you have over time, you'll learn that knowledge base. And it's like in any game, like if you learn the map for a game, you get better at the game. You know, if you learn that, let's take Counter-Strike, you know, you know that MP3 is not as good as the M4 and stuff like that. So as you play through, you learn those things, yeah. So I think that's just a part of the learning curve for me, and I think that's where I come back to, rather than like what you said. I don't want all the colors of the rainbow, because they're essentially, you're just taking it from that and making it, I've got to now learn what the colors are. But after you know them, do you really actually need the colors? Because if you actually work it back, it just allows you to learn it quicker. That's all that is. So essentially you're giving up having this flavor-colored vomit shooting all over the screen just to speed up your learning. And I'm going to be honest, I'd rather the realism and the immersion long-term over the quick learning ability, I guess.
I think color would be good if it's just for like... as a preference, you know, like if you wanted to spend your money to make it a color just for fun, because you're very into this color, then you can have it, but it doesn't like tell anything except your fashion sense of your ship.
Maybe a modifier you can put into the gun or something, and it makes it a rainbow colored chain gun or something, so it fires every color of the rainbow, if you really want that type of thing. But yeah,
sure.
Oh man, we already have people freaking out about it's like, I feel like every once in a while we have something come out and people are very angry that it's a little too fantasy. And I kind of get that side of things, but imagine how crazy that would go if we were changing the colors of our lasers too.
I also think
that'd be fun.
You could also different manufacturers. So maybe Bearing has a different size color laser to Hurston, you know, so, you know, that could be another way to go.
Yeah.
You know, so
anything that's like real life.
Yeah. You know, so Hurston might have yellow lasers or something, you know, where Bearing's more likely the traditional red, and then,
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. Yeah. You could,
Or maybe it's
where
like
my
a
brain
color
goes.
based on the environment, you know, like you flamingos, they eat these things and they turn pink. You buy these things here, and so they're more likely this color because they have a lot of that color on their planet.
Because I think
sounds like Chris Roberts thinking.
I think it's more important to know what the gun is more than what size it is. So for me,
sure.
Like you can kind of tell the difference between a laser and a laser repeater due to the speed it fires, but also there are guns, like, put it this way, there are 2 laser repeaters, but they have different stats. So if they were different colors, that would differentiate them. So I think the manufacturer is the way to go if you're going to do colors. Personally, that's where my brain goes. So yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to say on that, or we'll move on to the next one? Oh, this is an interesting one.
On to the next one.
So Scott says, "What is griefing?" Yeah, I think this is based on the Carrick stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you, real quickly on this Carrick stuff. I think both sides are in the wrong, and I think they were given he left the door of his Carrick open, but after how many times that you've died, would you just give up? I would have given up after like 2 respawns. He just kept going and going and going and going and going because he didn't want to have to wait for half an hour for his ship to respawn.
Right.
But I don't think it was griefing because he kept respawning. He had an out. He just didn't take the out. So from my point of view, I don't think it was griefing. He put himself in that situation. And I think most people would have just logged out. But again, he chose to be in that situation every time he respawned, in my book. So what about, I'm sorry, we're probably talking about something you don't understand, Tina, but Space, what's your kind of quick take on that one?
Griefing is anything that involves me dying. So, you know, we just need to ban anybody. Even if I kill myself, like if somebody's near me, they need to be banned.
So Tina, you've been griefing
I'm always
yourself.
calling CIG.
Yeah.
Playing
this
game.
So what do you call griefing,
get him
Tina? Yeah.
I've never heard the term before.
So griefing is
good. You've avoided a lot of terrible conversations.
Yeah. So griefing is essentially where someone else ruins your gameplay by repetitively making your game not fun, right? So in this,
are you like
sometimes
the same person?
Yeah.
Or does it not matter?
So in Star Citizen, there are some instances where you respawn and you are trying to get out of where you are at, and someone will just keep killing you over and over and over again because they're tormenting you, is what they're doing, right? And there was an incident that happened in a ship called the Carrick, which I know you've been on, and the Carrick has a medical bed, right? And it allows you to respawn inside the Carrick. What happened was this Carrick owner left his door open. These people came onto his ship, and they killed him, and then he respawned into the bed. And as he was getting out of the bed, there was a second person that shot him and killed him again. And then he respawned again in the bed, and then they shot him again. And this just went on and on.
So funny.
Yeah, and it just went on.
That is so funny.
And it just went on.
That would be such a clip.
Yeah. But he has the option to not respawn there.
So Tina's the griefer.
Yeah, Tina's the griefer. Tina's the guy. Yeah, you're dead.
My God, that would make that would be the highlight of my Twitch stream right there when someone's doing that to me. That'd be so funny, and then it would get annoying. And then I would just play a different game for a little while.
So I legitimately ask the question though. So when you die though, you have the option not to spawn at that bed, but to spawn back at a hospital. Right? And this person just kept respawning at the bed over and over and over and over because he just wanted
to think he could do something?
No, he was getting really pissed off and saying, "They're griefing me," because he wanted his ship back. Right? He didn't, because when you reclaim your ship, for the Carrick, it takes like half an hour. Right? So he didn't want to
longer for me.
And he wanted his gear back, right? But the thing is though, he was dead. He should not have been able to get his gear back. It was because he chose to keep spawning there. So in my opinion, it is his fault because he chose to respawn there. Yeah. He had all the choice was in his hands. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have to do it, but I would keep respawning just to troll them for keep killing me. See who would outlast the other person. That would definitely be what I would do. That's
Yup, that is the gamer way. Just like
Go.
I'm gonna get the last word.
yeah, we would just do it.
And another important
Set the
thing,
clock.
as someone pointed out in chat, you won't be able to infinitely respawn like that. If you constantly keep respawning like that, it will eventually kill your clone, essentially. So he wouldn't do that. In the real game, he would not choose to constantly respawn at the carrick because it would be essentially killing his lives off, right? So
it's a game
Right,
design
this isn't
thing.
that's how it works in like
so
just like really old games.
So the ironically funny thing is CIG actually contacted these people and told them not to grieve him. But I think in this case, CIG was in the wrong. And I also do know that CIG did not have all the information. And if you actually look at all the information and where it would be in the final game, it wasn't griefing in my book. He left the door open. He chose to respawn. Those two big things there tell me that he was in the wrong, not the so-called griefers. They
Yeah, and
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like
In
Tina
most
said at the
games-
end of it.
Oh, sorry. Mhm.
Well, like you said at the end of it, like you're doing this because you want to get the last word in. If you end up
Mhm.
giving up before they do, the thing to do is not to then go to the game company and be like, yo, they messed up my play session. Like at that point, you just got to move on.
Yeah, and isn't in most games, or I've seen most, I don't know, but I've played some EverQuest, right? And I think in EverQuest, when you die, if you die again before you get back to your body, this stuff is gone. It's only there in that first respawn. I never would have anticipated the stuff to still be there after I've died 3 times.
Yeah.
Why would it still be at the first place I died? That's not the last place I died anymore. So that's confusing.
I think the other part that will probably come into it is, and I'm trying to put myself in this character in his shoes, and I'm thinking I've probably got sub flare or something like that I'm going to lose for the rest of the patch. That's
Isn't that supposed to be any day now?
meaning. So you know that cat armor that you lost.
Oh my gosh, Tina's so shady.
Yeah, but you know the cat.
I mean, I'm gonna lose my stuff any day. I keep getting called, so
Yeah.
I'm not like hung up on any of it.
You're not salty at all, Tina. But that's but you know how the cat armor that you lost, right? If this person had the cat arm on his body when he died, he would lose that for the whole of that patch until they did a wipe or a reset, right? And I think that might have alluded to it. If you can go get your sub flare back, like right now, the only way to actually counter that is like maybe buy 5 sets of the armor, right? So if you die, you've got 5 versions of it. But that's also annoying.
The armor that I got,
they need a way to get that sub flare back, like a shop that you can go to in game and just you get it back or whatever. You've paid real world money for it. You need a way to get it back. It's just crazy.
Well, if you've played,
that would be good.
I thought the real world money stuff stays in your hangar on the browser version.
It does.
Does it not?
It does. But
So then what's the problem?
So if you lose it in game though, you lose it until they reset, until they do a reset, and that's the problem. So if you imagine that person on the carrick, the dead body there might have had, say it had one of those, say it had cat armor on it. He just wanted to get the cat armor back, but they weren't willing to let him come back to life because he might kill them. So they just kept killing him, and all he wanted was the cat armor back.
See,
so
and
if
that
someone blows up my cutter, I don't have my cutter until the patch.
Ships are different to to armor, so it's just guns and armor basically.
It's just, okay.
Yeah. So eventually, but
And-
they've said
Interesting.
they've said their fix for it will eventually be a shop that you can go to in system and you'll be able to buy that gear back. But they haven't implemented. They talked about that like 2 years ago. And the real problem is you're paying real world money to buy these items, but you can literally lose them and they're lost for.
Oh gosh, but you're playing
Almost
real
all-
world money hoping to get the full game, and you don't have that yet. So what
That's
does it
it.
matter if you lose your gun?
Yeah,
And that's the thing is like a lot of the arguments that we have about this game are based on things that aren't going to be true when the game is actually running.
Yeah.
And that's why it always comes back to like some people want to be playing the game now. That's what they're focused on and that's what they're going to criticize and that's what they're going to look at. And some people will only care about how the game is being made and what it's going to be in the future. And those are the people like, don't worry about it. This isn't going to be a problem later.
Yeah.
It's like 2 conversations to be had about these things.
Every game has their own rules. They're never perfect to what I want my rules to be. This game will be that as well. It'll have its own rules. They won't all be what I like. And if I like enough of them, I will play. then if I don't, I'll pick a new game.
I don't know if you have what it takes to be a Star Citizen back in Tina. I'm sorry. Game's got to be perfect for you.
Yeah.
They release a gun and it has the wrong stock. You got to make sure somebody knows.
That's literally an ongoing problem, Tina, where there's a lot of people think this game is going to be exactly what they want it to be. And one of the things we're always reminding people of is it's what Chris Roberts wants it to be, because he's the one that's designing and making the game. So you're not everyone's going to be happy with the final product.
I have a small fashion business of my own, and it is impossible to please everyone, and it's never going to happen, and I've never thought it would. And so I'm never expecting anyone to be pleased, and I'm never expecting to be pleased by a game, because
I don't know about you, Space, but I'm thinking of all the awkward fashion things that Tina would sell. You know, I know furry cat beanies, you know, lizard tongue shoes. Yeah.
Ooh, this sounds like fun. I have a background in like Japanese fashion. Street.
Wait, do you really?
Yeah, I make the pandemic has shifted some stuff, and I'm hoping to get back into it this year and relaunch the brand. It's kind of like on a little mini hiatus, hopefully not for long. But I've made some clothes for Japanese musicians, rock musicians, and also just worked with a lot of Japanese designers and companies and brands. Yeah, it's all been through anime. It's where I got my start. I used to do modeling for Japanese brands when they'd come overseas and stuff, and it slowly shifted. Now we make clothes.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Cool. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you want to do the next question?
Put me on the spot again.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. What is Tina imitating? Coming from Almond Butter again.
I picked the name Imitation Tina. One, when you're looking for a name, you Google it and see if anything else comes up. The only thing that comes up for this is Imitation Tuna. So I was like, perfect. We can start a whole brand.
I honestly thought of Tiny Tina from Borderlands. That's where when I heard Tina, that was what set it off. I went, oh, Imitation Tina is in a copy of Tiny Tina. That was where my brain went, but yeah.
Well, my name is Tina, and I do go by Tina. So as a former semi-professional cosplayer for a hot second of life, I had like a pseudonym name, and you end up with like a bunch of names, and it's a pain in the ass, you know, to have fake names. And we're just gonna go with Tina because that's what it really is. And I do so many different things, like fashion, and I used to do cosplay, and now we do gaming and sports stuff, all kinds of professional life. This is just one of the many me's. And I felt like it's just an imitation of me. It's just another one of me. This is in this slot we call Twitch and gaming. So it's an imitation. It's me.
I see. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and my logo, you can flip it. Imitation Tina.
Yes. Figured that one
Oh,
out
that's
when I was
fun.
looking at it. It
That
took me a
sounds
while
like
to figure what was
a
going
UX
on.
kind of thing.
Yeah. I want to see one that spins actually of your logo, because it looks like it could spin. But anyway.
I need help from somebody to make my logo backwards and forwards read the same thing, or like flips upside down. That would be fun, but it takes some like clever lettering, and I'm not good at lettering.
I could probably help you with that. I do a lot of stuff in Photoshop. 28 years I've been using it now, so yeah. As long as you're alive, as long as you two, I think you're 28 as well, aren't you, Space? Or very close to.
No, I'm older than that.
But almost as long as you're 28 though, aren't you, Tina? From memory, if I worked it out. I mapped it one time on DG.
Until September. I've one foot in the grave. Very sad.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, so I'm basically dead at this point, based on that.
I mean,
29's the end of the road.
Yeah. So I've been using Photoshop as long as you've been alive. So that probably tells you how old I am. And by the way, when GoldenEye came out, I was in high school. So that actually you should be able to work out how old I am from that.
oh wow, that's cool. So you really got to enjoy it then.
Yeah.
I saw it and watched my brother played it, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. When I went outside.
I would go into the library in high school, and for about 2 years before that game came out, I would read. They were older at the time, but I would sit at a black and white Macintosh and research 007 GoldenEye 007.
Oh, that's so
black
cute.
and white Macintosh.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but that's what they had in the library.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
I just have to say, Execute, I'm happy for you being able to be a customer, a longtime customer of Adobe without getting ripped off by their stupid subscriptions. That must have been nice.
Yeah.
They weren't doing subscriptions back. Oh,
no, they weren't.
Okay.
And I don't subscribe now. Yeah, let's leave it that way.
I got that from your face. I saw it.
I've been sailing the high seas for as long as I can remember, like way back in high school. Like, and I've just kept going the whole way.
I do remember seeing you could buy them. Yes, I remember that.
Well, being a developer, I used to make my own. I'll leave it that way. So
Photoshop was like one of the best things to get off of LimeWire back in the day.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I was there for Napster, the whole thing. Like, so Napster was all a part of my like when I was at uni and stuff like that. That was all current. LimeWire, all that was. I was right there for all of it. I remember.
Oh, that's so funny.
Netscape coming and going.
Never used it.
I was there from the. So I was a really early adopter of the internet because my mum was a teacher, right? So I actually got.
Cool.
So the internet. My school was an ISP. That's how cool my school was, right? And we got the internet on a 56K modem in 1991. Right, so that's how long I've had the internet for, which is a really long time if you go check into it. So I
was one of the first people to have a cell phone in my elementary school. It was a flip one. I was
like, check out this snake game.
So my dad had
no one else had a phone though. So I was like,
my dad had a car phone, and my friend Tyrone, his dad was a doctor, and he actually had like a suitcase phone. That was the first mobile phone I ever saw. So it was like a bag that opened.
One of those.
Yeah, he was a doctor, and so you talk about brick phones. This was like a literal case. It was pretty nuts. And then my dad got the car phone, and then Tyrone's dad went and got a car phone because it was like, oh, this is heaps better. So yeah, it was really funny. But anyway, all right.
Oh my god, I need that.
There's a bit of nostalgia berries there for you guys, but yeah. Did you ever see? Have you actually heard? Because you're so much younger, Tina. Have you actually ever heard a 56K modem sound? Have you ever heard that before? You want to Google that.
I mean,
so back in the day when you got on the internet,
the first thing. So when you AOL dial-up?
That's it. Yeah, dial-up. So when you got on the internet, you used to have to communicate over the phone line to connect, and so it would play all these. Wang, 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 wang.
I did have dial-up for a hot second when I was little. That was yes. I do like the dial-up sound. Yes.
But yeah.
I've heard it on a phone call recently. That was weird.
So there's this.
I called a doctor's office.
You guys would call it a diner, but there's this diner near me, and they actually have one of the old dial phones, and they deliberately have it because when people come in, like tourists come in, the kids have no idea what it is and they can't use it. It's just hilarious because they're like, they go, I need to make a phone call, and so they point them over to there's a phone box in the diner, and they go over there and they're like, I can't use this because they can't use the dial. It's hilarious. Like, what is this thing?
I saw a video of some kids, and the mom hands them a cassette player, and she's like, "This is music," and then they're like shaking it and looking for a button to turn it on, and they don't know what the hell it is. And I was very sad about that. I have a Walkman. Wow. I use it from time to time.
Are we that far from that?
Yeah, like they have no idea. They're like, they were looking for a button on a cassette, and it was killing me.
It's really
my
weird.
life goal is to get a Betamax, though.
It's really weird as I get older because they're now showing stuff from the 80s, like when I was a kid, and the 90s. That's now history. So you go into Netflix and they'll have a show and it goes, 1992, and you just go, shit, I'm old.
Right.
Like it just makes you feel old as shit because you're like, I lived through that. But
it's so sad.
So that's a nostalgia berry for me. But anyway. All right, we're probably tangented, so we probably should course correct. So, fifth, am I in the next question? Yeah. So, fifth thread says, "How immersive is too immersive? Waiting in line is okay, but what about using the bathroom, sleeping, physically loading 2,000 SCU of cargo?"
Oh,
I don't think you would do 2,000 SCU of cargo on your own. If you did, it's your own fault.
That would suck.
I think this is where I draw the line. You guys tell me. remember how they talked about the poop animations and stuff like that? Like actually watching NPCs sit on the toilet and do poop animations. Like, what kind of sick person is kind of gonna do that? Like, or are they gonna more likely
don't judge me.
Or they more likely just have
But
the
I
door
want to go
closed?
run up and open the door and run away. That'd be so funny.
Peep through the crack, make them feel nervous.
Let's look at this. I mean, if you could do it in real life, it's pretty funny.
I think we've just changed your alter ego is not Imitation Tina, it's Lewd Tina, because they like to use the word lewd in Japan. So I think
like
it would be Lewd
troll.
Tina. Yeah. Troll Tina.
I'm currently playing Raft a lot. I've been playing a lot of Raft, and in that game, I am hungry and I need water like it feels like every 5 minutes, and I'm on easy. Like I try not to have to be hungry so often, and it is annoying all of us in the game. It's very frustrating. If it takes me 3 hours or a whole day to be hungry, if you can fast all day, I mean, if we want to make it realistic, I should be able to fast in game and still be alive. It takes 3 days to need some water. I mean, maybe you're a little dehydrated.
I think
it's too realistic.
I think it's too freaking Star Citizen. Like you play for 3 hours and you got to eat every single time. I have to eat more frequently in Star Citizen than I do in real life, and that annoys me. I've
only eaten for fun so far in the game, but not because I've had to. But I only play about 3 hours at a time.
You can die if you don't eat or drink.
I look forward to it. It'll be really funny. I'll never see it coming. I don't know where the gauge is.
So just get a bit of sticky. So it appears in the bottom left of your screen. So just get a bit of sticky tape and cover it when you see it come up, and then see how long you last. It drives you nuts, and you just be like, "What happened?"
You start blacking out and stuff, and your vision gets blurry.
Cold. I went outside. Got really cold. But I drank alcohol and I didn't get dizzy. I was disappointed in
You're
that.
going to drink multiple ones, but you will get dizzy. Drink.
We're very
okay. So I'm not weak.
drinkers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be noted.
So here in Australia we call that a Cadbury, which is Cadbury is made with a glass and a half of full cream milk. So what it means is a glass and a half of alcohol, and you're gone. So yeah, I've heard. What's the other one?
Okay.
Well,
that's what I got to do next time I get on the game.
Do you have a saying like that where you live, Tina, that imply like a Cadbury or something?
Just that
weak.
Light drink, a week. Yeah, I don't know. Well,
yeah. What about you, Space? You got anything turkey like that they use?
Like
lightweight, that's what it is.
A term for a light drinker. Is there a term for a light drinker? Like, so in Australia they call people Cadburys because it's made of a glass and a half.
That's not a thing here, dude. You whip out vodka and everybody becomes a heavy drinker.
Okay, well there we go. That's fine. Yeah, well, that's why it's a banter thing in Australia. Like we call them lightweights and stuff like. Yeah, there you go. Lightweight's a good one. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, we got lightweights in America. I don't know what they call them here in Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next question, Space.
Wait! I didn't get to answer the immersive one.
Sorry, go for it.
I think what was the whole question again? I think there is a too immersive point. Mm-hmm. I think that the immersiveness should be geared in a way that it adds to the game experience if you take part in it, but it doesn't take away from the game experience if you don't. So like, yeah, you should have to drink water to stay alive, but like I think eating food should be more about building up your like your resistance, your strength, your stamina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, buffs. In the same aspect, like when you're loading cargo into your ship, you can do it or you can pay someone to do it. You know, like give us options to maneuver around these things, but I think they should still be there to build depth in the game.
It's got to be something, or else the whole chef role is worthless. But it doesn't have to be much. But maybe, I don't know, more thought into that is needed for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
They built out these kitchens.
Let us use the kitchens.
Yeah, I think
we got to do something with the kitchen.
I think that's why they've made kitchens more of a thing, so they can make food. Well, eventually we'll have chefs and all that, so you know you'll get.
But I don't want to die every couple of minutes. Oh God.
Yeah. All right, Space. Next question.
What roles or activities would you like to do in SC long term?
And that's from Milk or the Wise.
This one to Tina.
What
you said you wanted to do everything, right?
Yeah. What would be something that you wouldn't want to do long term? Like you'd only want to do a little bit.
Honestly,
what would be the difference?
Politics.
I wouldn't want to do dogfighting long term in this game.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's the least interesting thing about the game to me.
Agreed. I'd agree with you on that. It's a very simple system, and I even relay that back to ships. Like right now, combat ships are at a premium. They cost more to buy a combat ship right now. But to me, the ships that are most interesting are the ones with the more bespoke gameplay. Like a prospector to me is more interesting than a combat ship because it does something that the other ships don't do right now. You know, and I think eventually when all those different gameplays come online, I think they're the ones, you know, because combat's in every other game, isn't it, Space? So that's where my brain kind of goes, like it's something different. And if you just again take mining, mining is so much better than any other game that has mining right now, and it's at its infancy. So you know, well, that's where I go anyway.
You're gonna ruffle some feathers with that one.
That's my job. No, that's fine. All right. Do you want to add to that at all, Tina? What roles, activities would you like to do long term? Is there anything, or do you have to have a real think about it? I did say any job you can think of 1,000 years in the future. You could do that cosplay stuff, by the way. You could probably do that, I reckon, eventually.
I think I'd have to know more about the game and overall, but I mean, I am an Animal Crossing player, and I am like, you know, seeing those little rewards and stuff like planting plants, and you know, you put more plants in, you get more pumpkins. You plant more pumpkin seeds, you get more pumpkins. It's all those things. It's a really cute being able to have.
So farming, they are bringing agriculture in. You will eventually be able to do farming and stuff.
Which feels like a long-term thing. You know, watching a tree grow really tall, that could be cool. It could take forever.
Yep.
I appreciate those things.
I can see the icon of Tina's farm right now, like you in blue overalls with the pitchfork. I can see that, yeah. All right. The Canine Music asks, do you think there could be a breaking point with cheats where it could actually end up hurting revenue by turning people off from the game? Yeah, after release, if there's a shit ton of cheaters, yeah, that'd be bad. But right now, no. Because everything's being wiped. Doesn't matter. As I said, the only people that are really active are PvPers, and they're the only ones that seem to will give it down, essentially. But yeah, I don't know. I think that kind of covers it, unless you guys want to go over it, because we kind of did talk about this a lot.
I mean, I think it could hurt revenue long term, but
I mean, maybe they lose current players, but
unless you come into the game and PvP's your thing, that could be the other way to look at it. But yeah, it's just
I think like
too early.
If CIG was like, yeah, we're not going to pay attention to it because we're in alpha, don't worry about it, like people would probably stop playing as much. So like obviously don't just ignore it, but I don't think they need to sink a lot of resources into it.
Right, sorry, I was reading someone's message. All right, you want to do the next question, Space? I have to tick that one off though. Yep.
All right.
Oh, you beat me to it. It's fine.
Lots of people online hating on piracy. Is there a place in Star Citizen who only want to play PvE content, or where do we draw the line between PvP and griefing?
I don't know. I always come back to that. You know, if you don't want combat, you're gonna have to stay safe space. It's kind of like real life. If you don't want to get mugged or shot, stay out of the danger.
Don't go there.
Yeah, don't go there.
Yeah.
And you creating a system that works for both people or both areas. There has to be compromise.
I'd say you please.
Yeah.
You please them there. You please them there.
Yeah.
There's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
A little bit of danger, not too much.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be. We can't separate PvE from PvP players. That would be.
Yeah.
That would really mess with the simulation.
What are we trying to do? Are we trying to do real life? Are we trying to do this style, that style of game? What is it? After you decide, you stick with it. That is your roadmap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard people bring this up with the pad ramming stuff as well. You know, I don't think a lot of people are going to be pad ramming in the final game because they'll lose a player life, so to speak, you know? And I think, man, if your whole thing is it's just a character that you've made and all it does is pad ram other people, that'll, you know, flare something on the system and that character will be banned. So I don't know. I don't think there's any way that stops it from being fixable in the final game. Like everything in my brain says that these are all things that'll just eventually be fixed because of the things they've told us.
I think there are things that will always be problems to some extent. But
sorry,
that's part of figuring out the game through the alpha phase.
Now I've just realized something. We're meant to be doing a giveaway. CIG actually gave us a Lovestruck arrow to give away. Now, I didn't know how I was going to give this away, and I meant to talk to you guys before we started. How do you think we should give this away? I was thinking because it was I had a really stupid idea, right? So you tell me if this is stupid, right? But I was thinking like the worst pickup line wins the ship. The worst pickup line. What do you think? Because it's meant to be for Valentine's Day. So what would be
Who's judging?
Oh, okay.
all three of us will judge, and so you can send so again, if you just put it in question, so if you put question in front of your pickup line, and we've got basically an hour left of the stream type of thing, and we'll go through as they come up, and me, Tina, and Space will basically pick a winner, and if you have the best, the worst pickup line.
The worst.
Yeah. But
keep it safe for work.
Yeah, Tina, you've got the breaking tie, okay? So if you think it if there's a tie somehow, you can break ties, right? And the winner of that will get an arrow, Lovestruck arrow, which comes with that Lovestruck arrow paint with LTI. Excuse me, sorry, a bit of an indigestion. Right. Next question is from Mr. E00, who says, "What are the consequences of allowing trolls to ruin new player experience for years to come?" Yeah. Do you know who the biggest troll is this whole game? CIG, leaving the new players to go to jail instantly for the last it's almost 3 years now. I said 2.5 years, but that was last September. We're almost up to 3 years now, aren't we? So yeah, three years of making it so you clip your wing on a pad, you accidentally clip a turret, level 1 crime stat, you get shot at and get sent to jail. And new players don't know how to kind of move properly yet, so they often get destroyed. I've had a dozen people, as soon as they go to prison, I'm not there to guide them and handhold them. They don't know what they're doing. They get frustrated, they quit the game, and they leave. So, for me, again, it just shows it's that cart before horse thing. They're not in a position in a lot of ways for new players to come in. I know they're trying to encourage people to buy the game and fund the game and all that, but I actually kind of think they need some kind of warning thing, like a big blatant thing. This is a game in development. There are no hand holding. There are no tutorials. Your only help is going to be other players, YouTubers, and the guide system, but they don't even advertise the guide system. Nowhere when you're buying stuff does it go, here's the guide system.
I mean, the fact that you have to go to the website to use the guide system.
Yeah.
It's on the website. See, I thought you were going to say it's a keybind. Okay. Yeah.
That would be better.
Well,
so yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on that? So, what are the consequences of allowing trolls to ruin new player experiences? Less people buying the game, I think it's obvious, isn't it? But yeah,
new players don't enjoy it.
I think
that kind of says what kind of game it is. If there's a lot of trolls, then that's that's the game.
I think it's a small minority, quite honestly. I don't really I don't know about Space, but I think I've been stream start once or twice ever, and I just like whoop-de-doo. It was annoying. I think at the time I was trying to set up a shop for like something I was recording or whatever, but it's part of the territory. You know, you're a content creator, people attention seeking. That's just how it is. But yeah, in regards to the actual,
they're like 10-year-olds on there probably. Well, they will be one day, but
eventually. I don't know. Yeah. I think the addressing though of the new player experience is them trying to address. Like, I think they've finally kind of gone right. Yeah, we do need to improve the situation for new players. So I think they are. I don't know. That sounds positive to me. Space. What about you? It seems.
No, they've recognized it. Yeah, I think there's always going to be, well, at least in the alpha phase, there's always going to be easy ways to make new players' lives worse. But as the game gets bigger and there's more stuff to do, I think it'll happen less and less.
Yeah.
More stuff to do.
What about you, Tina? Because you are fairly new. What would have you liked to have seen coming into the game? Like, if you could go back and do it again, what would you have liked to have held your hand, so to speak?
Well, I mean, even learning on today's stream, there's a guy It's on the website. I've got to look this up. I had no idea. I've never been on the website except to accept something, a gift from a chatter, and to sign up. That's it. That's the only reason I've been on the website those 2 times. So if there's something else on there, I have no idea what it is, and I've been given no reason to know that there's something I should go on there for. So yeah, knowing about that would be great. I know that a lot of people really like to play games and they don't want any hand holding, and I totally respect that if they want that. But as someone who sucks at games, and if I am not streaming, I could use a hand here and there. So I do like when there's a button or an option for help if I want to hit that button, or if I need that, whatever way they function it, that would be nice. But I don't want it to be shouting in my face how to do stuff. I only want it there when I ask for it. Yeah.
So ability to kind of turn the tutorials off,
I really hate in some of the games the tutorials are forever or really long, or it's the second time you're playing it. Why do I have to go through the tutorial again? Or
fair enough.
You must learn.
It's a line on the floor that guides you the whole way. I want that when I don't know what I'm doing, but not when I do.
So my idea for that was with the Moby Glass, what you could do is it goes into like a hologram simulation. So you can, the first time you go in, it turns in the Moby Glass, and you're in like a simulation thing, and then it kind of turns it off. So you can choose just to opt out at any time. Or maybe the sim
and so
pods.
often, more often than not, the tutorials, if they're like voiced, are really annoying. Or I don't like the direction that they chose, and it's like, just shut up. Like, I'll figure it out. Or if I want it, I can have it. If I don't need it. Yeah.
A customizable tutorial. Yeah, I'll get you. Yeah.
Toggle. Can't figure this out. Save me.
You want to do the next question, Space? By Stefan's
the Yeti. Did you see Ollie's video of him hijacking an Idris?
I did, but that is old news to me. He literally used the same trick from like 5 years ago. It really wasn't new to me at all. What about you, Space? It's no news to me at all.
I didn't see the video. Did he just glitch into it?
He used a Nomad, did the old trick where you jump off the back of a Nomad and basically F prompt through the window onto the seat. So yeah, it's old news. New to him, obviously. Glad he had a great time, but it's been the same trick we've seen for a while now. So yeah, it just hasn't changed. It's the same. But yeah, I'm glad he had a good time, and it does. Anything that anyone does to highlight the game to other people, I've got no problem with that at all. As long as if he's enjoying the game and the rest of it's enjoying the game, there's no problem from my perspective. So
that's the kind of the cool part too about making content. It's like you can make something that people have known for 20 years, and it's still new and fresh for a ton of people.
Yep.
So it's always nice to see people like Ollie who have a big bandwidth who can share this kind of stuff that happens in the game.
Just like Tina coming into the game, and she's experiencing everything from the first time. It's the same for us. Like watching her experience it for the first time makes everything old new again. So yeah, 100%. All right. Shinobi Trip says, question: a lot of people who stream what their first ship was, but I want to know what was the second ship you spent money on after committing SC. I think he's basically asking you to talk about the Constellation Phoenix. Why did you pick the Constellation Phoenix over all the other ships that were available?
Because that one took all the money that I had in my wallet. It was the one that broke the bank. That was the only reason I was little. It's like everyone's like, it's gonna wipe. It's like, oh, we got all this money that's gonna go away any day now. So let's spend all of it at once. Just sounds perfect. So we picked that one, of course, and it was a beaut. It's very pretty. I'm very disappointed that there's no hot tub in it yet. It didn't have to have water in it. They could just put a circle.
So you'll be able to,
more like a dojo right now.
You'll be able to pick between a hot tub or a piano eventually.
Oh, that's cute. There just should be a little sign, like something like coming soon. That'd be cute. But Yeah, it was purely a money decision. It took all the coins, and it was the biggest thing I could find, and I love it. But the cutter will always have a place in my heart. Mm-hmm.
Cutter's a good loot. Who picked the cutter for you? You pick it yourself, or did someone suggest it?
It was during this sale during Christmas. It was a part of the.
Yep. So that was just available. So that was just the one you picked. It was on special.
Yep.
Good choice though. It's a good
Good ship.
Yeah. Mystery Yellow 7. Thank you for the Prime subscription. Appreciate it. All right. Space. Next question.
For Tina, what has been your biggest struggle in learning Star Citizen?
Space.
The final frontier.
It's so hard.
Space is a struggle, both in real life and in games.
Yeah.
It's so complicated. Like I get we have figured out how to get up into space. And then once I'm in space, I'm so lost. There's so many buttons, so many keys that I need to hit. There's so many tabs at the bottom. I barely understand how to select a mission. You select, if you finally figure out how to select a place to go to, I'm like looking for Grim Hex on the map and I'm zooming in, and then you go past the planet or whatever, and then you don't see anything, and then you zoom back out and I still don't see it. And chat's just like dying one by one, dropping off like flies. They don't even know how to help me. And we finally zoom in just the right angle, and then we can find it. I don't understand why you can't do like a longitude, latitude kind of thing, and just someone could give me the coordinates, and then we could pop. That's where Grim Hex is. Okay, let's go. Or I could type Grim Hex somewhere. That would be nice.
They have an insane coordinate system because of the whole 3-dimensionals and space and how big it is. So yeah, I mean, they've definitely talked a lot about bringing in the new star map. That's what we need most.
Literally in that video you and I did on your channel, that's literally it. That's the only thing we get this year. I'll be happy. I think I'll add munching to that, though. I want munching and the star map. They're the two things I'm looking forward to in space. I don't know about you, but yeah.
I think that'd be really helpful. If flying around in space is one of the big things that is the selling point right now, besides combat, is space flying, then I need a manual that I can read for space flying. What are the keys? And I need to be able to know what I am doing up there. Not everyone's going to want to talk and chat.
I've noticed this about a lot of streamers. They really want to go in and do it on their own at the start, because there's a smaller streamer called...
But nothing's telling you shouldn't.
Yep. And a smaller streamer that also does similar streams to you. She plays N64 games as well. Mm-hmm. Her name is Moon Hoodles. I always butcher her name. But and I helped her get a starter pack, and I wanted to take her into the game, but she wanted to do it on her own at the start, and then she just kept being roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, and I'm just sitting here going, oh, I could have made this so much easier for you if you just allowed me to join you the first time. And then, yeah, Melkor the Wise has seen it. Moon Hoodles, yeah, that's it. So yeah, she basically went through all the struggles that you're talking about. So I actually think if you hooked up with Space or myself or someone and they took you in for a couple of hours, I think you'd be quicker brought up to speed, learn all the basics, and then go off. I think that that's
probably the biggest hurdle for new players, or just getting anyone to join. No one's telling you that you need your handheld to be able to play the game, to be able to, that's wild. They don't tell you that, and you don't anticipate that because no other game asks that of other players. So that's a tricky one. I don't know any other game that's like, don't start this until you have someone to hold your hand for the first couple hours.
Did you have any hesitancy to like jump into a Discord or find a group of people that could teach you? Or would you rather struggle through it yourself than go out of your way? Do you feel like Star Citizen makes it a little too hard to find other people?
I don't know. I probably would have I probably just would have Googled questions if I was having. That's mainly what I do. I don't really know how to use Reddit, and I'm new to Discord. It says as of September is just got my first Discord. So I wouldn't have probably looked there. Just Google. But as someone who I know that I'm bad at games, I just think it's me. But hearing that it's for people who play all kinds of games, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, I was just banning bot Twitch, so that's gone. Yeah. We usually say goodbye to bots here. We're like, bye. All right. Next question, Space, because I actually lost where we're up to.
It's a lot of questions.
This is a little amount of questions. You have no idea. One time you'll have to come back on with me and Algrid, and then you'll see how savage it gets. It gets quite savage. and me and Algrid go into a lot of detail. So these are all very light questions compared to what we normally do. We do a lot of CCU stuff, all that really like, stuff that Tina wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. But yeah, being a new player. So yeah. All right, next one.
Next one this is coming from Apple Crow with a background in UI and being new to the game. What was the first thing Tina noticed was missing from the UI or surprised was done the way it was?
Well, like I said, I just recently, when I first started, I had been also playing Red Dead, and so I was really happy not to see a wheel that had the things that were equipped. And the thing that it took like 2 hours of playing Red Dead to figure out and for people to verbalize in chat that the wheel had an inner wheel, and I had no idea. I like went to the gun, and then inside the gun there's another wheel with more guns, and that was
the problem with consoles is they're designed for consoles, and I hate UI that are designed for console because they're garbage. They've got a limited amount of buttons, and obviously PC is the complete opposite of that. It's got every button under the sun. So yeah, we used to direct
controllers
interface.
are so much better.
Yeah, I don't know how to get help like it.
Yeah, get the fuck out. Yeah, go. Get the hell out of here. That's fucking
He's gone.
Controls are terrible. What's he talking about?
Come on, man. You got to admit, like, keyboards are great for control.
Yeah.
Comfort-wise, controllers are so much better.
Well, you're essentially talking about a desk
but if
or
I'm on a keyboard, I just button smash.
I think you're
I don't know how to play.
I think you're talking about like at a desk or at a couch. If you're sitting on a couch, yeah, you can relax a bit more. I can see the controller, you know. Also, it depends on the game too. So, for example, a racing game, a controller is a lot better than a keyboard, right? A fighting game.
I have not been able to do a shooter on a controller yet.
Yeah, shooters.
I can't line up.
Yeah, shooters are terrible.
That's my jam.
Yeah, shooters are terrible on controllers. So, and you being a Halo player, I can't believe you said that because controllers are terrible.
What do you mean?
Controllers are
you
terrible.
couldn't play Halo on like it was the way to play Halo for such a long time, except for that first PC game. But
all I can remember is this, Tina, is where you see it. So this is and then they're aiming like this. I'm trying to shoot him, but I can't.
That's me in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't hit anybody. Like, I've been playing Division 2 to get better at Fortnite. It's not going well.
That said, though, I have met a few rare individuals, and when I played Rainbow Six Siege a couple of years back, I've stopped playing since. But there was a guy I used to play with, and he was almost always there when I played. And it took me about a year and a half to realize he was playing with a controller. And I just out to him one day and said, "Are you playing with a controller?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "How could you tell?" And I said, "I just was watching you play, and I just realized these subtle movements." And I'm like, "It looks like he's on a controller."
Oh, that's funny.
And he said, "Yeah." And we were playing like the whole squad of 5 of us. And the guy was just like, the guy's like, "Are you serious?" Because he was one of the best of us, by the way, and he was playing on a controller. And it just blew our minds. Like dude, that's impressive.
You practice enough with it. Yeah. Like you can be good with a controller.
Yeah.
You just got
also
and now they're
younger.
getting much better controller support with extra buttons and stuff, so it's not as bad.
Yeah. I wanted to go the other way too. I'd like eventually. So if you want to be a bit more of a hardcore gamer, you can, take a mouse and keyboard and not have to buy a $200 one that's Xbox branded or PlayStation branded and just plug it in and it works. Because I think we are slowly, like, besides, like, back when this game came out, it's like, I'm a PC game and PC game is dying. Like, that's what they were promoting. It's now going the other way. Like, the consoles are getting more and more like PCs now. And I think eventually what'll happen is they will just be PCs that plug into the TV, but they're branded. You know what I mean?
Basically what the Xbox has always been, right? Like they literally named it the Xbox because it was the direct Xbox.
Yep. Well, they make Windows, so all they have done is made a version of Windows for consoles with a UI. That is essentially what the Xbox is.
And I love that. Yeah. God, I love being able to just play the same game on my computer as my Xbox, depending on like how I feel.
They're moving towards that as well. Like with the you know, you can buy one game and it works on both.
Yeah.
I just have my computer tower. It's close to the TV, and I plug it into the TV.
That is the way to go.
All right. Next question. Says okay, not that one. Shempasta says, Tina, have you heard of Pyro? And if so, what are your thoughts? And he's not talking about you setting yourself on fire, Pyro.
No.
The way you're
Spyro with the little dragon.
Holy crap! That's so.
You see the nose
exciting.
Flash she did there.
That's so exciting. I honestly, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
It would be so fun to learn about all this stuff right now.
Yeah.
It's not 4 years away.
Yeah, because like we've been sitting here watching it trickle out all these years, and you don't know it. So right now, you know we're in the Stanton system in game, right?
No.
Okay, so
what's that?
So the solar system that we are in the game.
Oh, that's the name of the solar system.
Is called Stanton, right? And we've got this technology we're waiting for called pairs and server meshing that's coming that will allow us to kind of move between servers dynamically eventually. But once that comes in, they're going to add a whole second system, hopefully by the end of the year, probably a bit later than that. But then they're going to be two systems, and so you're going to have Stanton and Pyro, and Pyro is more of a lawless system. And so if you wanted to go, so if you went and looked up like Star Citizen Pyro,
cool.
so you know how the space stations are, you know, they're looked after really well here. Well, in Pyro, they're not looked after so much. So you know, there's a place called Ruin Station, and it's literally got debris floating around it and all that type of thing.
We'll just call it Escape from Pyro. Or instead of Escape from LA.
Yep. It's a little bit like that. A little bit like that. And they've showed for the last couple of years, they've shown off a few things of Pyro. So you know, it's got a pulse nova that, you know, every once in a while flicks through the whole system, and if your ship is caught out in space, it can literally disable your whole ship, and things like that. So yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that sounds cool.
No, what else?
That'll be interesting.
What else would you say about Pyro, Space? Do you think that Tina might like to know?
I mean, the most significant part of it is it's the first time we're getting another star system in the game. So it's kind of marks the beginning of the game's expansion finally, which is a pretty big deal. But it also marks...
They're going to expand the whole system before they have some of these other features, though.
They're working on them all in parallel.
You could actually go watch one of Space's videos on stream and literally just learn all about Pyro. I think it'll be very interesting because, as I said, a lot of us older backers, it sounds really weird, but we live vicariously sometimes through newer people. Like seeing their reactions is entertaining to us because it's like, wow, you know, like the first time someone goes to Microtech or one of the planets, just seeing the reaction of other people, because we've been around so long, that's entertaining to us. Well, at least it is to me. I think it is to you too, Space.
Yeah, I find it's interesting to think that they're expanding a whole nother. For me, as a new player, they're expanding, but we still have people standing in T poses. And I'm like,
it's all about how it's being built out. And different things.
Yeah, that's
the first place my mind goes.
So the expansion, it brings in a lot of the back end tech that will hopefully theoretically allow them to minimize those kinds of problems. So it's all kind of tied together.
If you are lucky enough, Tina, you will get on a server eventually where you are one of the first people on the server, and all the AI works a lot better than it does now because there's more bandwidth.
Oh, really?
But it will. And as more people join, the AI starts to work less and less because there's not as much bandwidth. So this new system they're building, the server meshing and PES stuff, will free up more bandwidth essentially, and then they'll start working on more AI and put more, because they can work on it in the in the development studio and it works totally fine. But as soon as you move it to a multiplayer networked environment, it struggles because they've got bandwidth issues. And one of the things we notice they keep doing is every time they have free bandwidth, they up the player count because then they can turn down the number of servers so they don't have to pay for as much things. So their priority at the moment is saving money over performance. And that's how it probably should be when you're trying to raise money.
Yeah, I'm really worried for them because Everyone, this
Yep.
this update sounds like it's taken exceptionally long, in particular to other updates, and
Yep.
it sounds like everyone is just really, really banking on very specific things. And there's just gonna be just so much hate for this update. Oh, it's gonna be so negative because we only talk about negative things on the internet, and that's worrisome. That's worrisome. I
Oh,
hope.
that's every 3 months for us.
That is the path of choice. Now, guess what,
I'm
guys?
so sad.
ISC just dropped. It's 14 minutes and 24 seconds long. Now, Space Toomato wants me to record this one, guys, because he normally does a reaction thing, don't you, Space? So the first thing I'm going to do, just so you guys can watch with me here on Discord, is change this over. So I'm changing it over to YouTube, so you won't be able to see my ugly mug anymore. But we're going to watch this. I'm going to hit the record button for Space Toomato, and he can edit this later. So just give me a second. I'm going to flick you guys over to join us, so we're going to go over here. Now, do you want me to leave the cameras on, Space, even though they block a lot of the screen, or would you like me to turn the cameras off?
No, let's leave them on.
Leave them on? Leave them on. Okay.
That's how you normally do it, right?
Yeah, but I normally have
gonna do it?
transparent backgrounds, so you can see through people.
Well, I mean, however you're gonna do it, don't change it for me.
All right.
Whatever
Well,
you prefer.
We'll leave it there. But yeah. All right. We'll do that. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna hit the record button now for you, Space. So I'm going recording, and here we go. Playing it now.
Just when we think we're out, you all pull us back in. The mining profession journey has been one of the most collaborative in all of Star Citizen, with no shortage of player feedback and game systems that have been designed for flexibility and iteration. The upcoming Alpha 319 is set to bring with it a whole host of fixes and evolutions to improve the ways that players make their fortunes in the future.
Really quick, if Tina or Space, you want to say anything, just start speaking and I'll pause and we can talk about what's going on, right? Just to let you know.
All right.
Yeah, cool. No worries.
Yeah, so the last time we said that we don't do anything about mining anymore and we leave it at rest. I think it was even when we introduced the mining gadget, so it was quite a while ago. And yeah, well, here we are, sitting here again and explaining to you why we actually had to retouch or wanted to take mining to the next level. So here we are, and giving you something more to enjoy with mining gameplay.
I hope so.
Yeah.
He looks like tired. He looks really tired.
Yeah. He looks like cool. But no, this is a bit of a surprise. So an update to mining. I think this has got probably, I don't know, Space, I feel a bit like this is like a response to the munching of salvage. I don't know about you, but yeah.
I think we're overdue for an update to mining. It's been scanning for rocks. I mean, that might not be being fixed today, but like the distribution of resources, all that kind of stuff really needs some help.
I can hear John Citizen from here, by the way. I don't know about you. He's like, woohoo! Yeah. All right, here we go.
So when we left mining, we thought it was already in a good state. So even introducing with the mining gadget, we introduced from our perspective, a nice little different approach on mining. So you have to leave your ship, attach the mining gadget to the rock, then get back into the ship, and then do your mining procedure. And we also thought that it will help with difficulty, so that especially new players can buy a mining gadget to bring down resistances of the rock drastically, so they have an easier mining experience. What we didn't have in mind is that we also have to facilitate expert miners that still need a challenge there. So what we tackled is a general balancing pass. That is, we adjusted all the items, all mineable heads, all mining heads, all sub-items that you attach to the mining head, the mining gadgets, everything.
So I'm hearing it's like a mining refactor. They've just like gave a pass across the board, and it's almost like a shift in the meta type of thing. That's what I'm hearing.
A rebalancing.
Yeah.
What I'm particularly interested in is if they change the values of materials at all.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see. Hopefully he elaborates a bit more.
Thing now has different values. We cleaned it up drastically. So it is now clearer what are the positives of what mining had, what are the positives of a SAT item, what are the positives of a mining gadget, and what are the negatives that come with it.
So it sounds like that might also bear fruit with other gameplay professions as they come online. So because that's probably even got UI connotations too there, Tina. You'd have to assume, yeah. You can even see like there, like it's showing the different colors there on the Acunis. So I don't know if you can see my mouse pointer, but just here. So yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, I don't know. All right. Is that a good thing from your perspective as a new player? Things that are easier to understand? I'm assuming that's a good thing, yeah?
Yes, I mean, you don't want it to be too easy, but yeah, be helpful as someone who doesn't even know what they're looking at. Yeah.
Okay, so this is mining. This is the we'll introduce you.
I was told the first mission I should try is a box mission.
Yep.
I think that was the present thing. Started that.
Yeah. So this won't
I'm
be
just enjoying learning.
This won't be the deep end, but this is a bit deeper. So yeah, we'll get someone out there to help you do some mining. You'll be fine. All right, here we go.
And this is more important now because we also touched the minables themselves. So all the minables that you find now have different values in terms of their resistance, in terms of their instability. So what we try to do is match certain mining heads with certain materials or resources that you find. So you will have mining heads that go better with, for example...
That is so much better. You don't just buy one mining head now and it does everything. You have to, that's so much better. So it's like literally the right tool for the job. That's way
Should be
better.
a lot better than everyone using the same two tools for everything.
Well, unless now the tool just goes, okay, what's the best tool for Quantanium? And now everyone just goes, so
it goes in practice.
But down the road, that, you know, okay, so Quantanium's the best right now, but Quantanium's probably the best for fuel. But if you're, you know, a guy that works in ship parts or something like that, you might want a different resource, right? Tool for the right job. Long term, that's really, really good. I really like that. All right.
Aluminum and others that might go better with iron. And this directly leads to the next thing. So we introduced finally iron. And iron is a ship-exclusive mineable for now. We also introduced some new resources like Genelite. Genelite is
iron is good.
Exclusively.
Yeah, this is way deeper than I thought it was going to go. So we're getting new resources.
That's pretty.
So ship specific, I think that means there's a tie there. You know, you correct me if you think I'm wrong. I'm speculating here, but there's a tie between salvage and mining. No connection there, or what do you think, Space?
I have no idea.
We'll see. See if it bears fruit.
Found in caves, and it's only mineable with FPS. And the reason why we wanted to introduce that is that, like, from the data that we gather from all of you playing, is no one uses FPS mining as a game mechanic outside of the prison. So we wanted to make it more attractive. To
very, very true.
To players to use a multi-tool with a mining attachment other than just having it attached because you found it. So right now we want you to try out the new caves.
You know, I wouldn't have done it as a rock. I would have done it as if it's it's like a biological grown thing that can be mined, and they only live in caves. That's how I would have done it. But you know, I'm not the one doing this. But yeah.
Find the new mineable, and I can guarantee you that it is really profitable to bring that with you. It's not as profitable as the mining as a profession, because if it's your day-to-day job, but it's like a nice golden nugget that you can find on your exploration tool. So next time you are in the caves, better bring a mining attachment with your multi-tool. We additionally cleaned up the way that resources are distributed throughout Stanton. And this is because we want to make resource gathering future-proof. With the introduction of crafting that will come further down the road, with this first implementation with the hull scraping gameplay.
So just for your benefit there, Tina, this is salvaging that they're showing right now. So that's something new that's coming in 3.18. So that's essentially, besides combat and mining, kind of the second profession going into game. So,
Are they taking the outside of the ship?
yep. So that's a wreck.
Ah.
Yeah, that's a wrecked ship there on the. I'm probably pointing the wrong direction because I can't see myself at the moment. But yeah, that's a wrecked ship, and someone is stripping the hull off it. And then eventually later on in the year, you'll be able to actually munch up the ship and turn it into more recycled goods, and so everything will eventually.
Oh, that's funny.
So it's you know, you were talking about space janitorial gameplay. That's the first version of space janitorial gameplay, but it's in space, right?
That'll
So
be
you
fun.
already got a glimpse of it. But what is important there is that we get a better control of where to find certain materials, and also from our perspective, it's more interesting for players to know where they have to go to find certain material types. So what we did is we defined standard materials and quality or like rarity based materials. Standard materials are something like copper, like iron, like something that you know from real life is used in basically every item that you find around. And those have distinct locations now within Stanton. For example, aluminum you can only find around Crusader, where copper you can only find around Microtech, which, so as a disclaimer, can change during our development, but just to give you an idea that we now have distinct location where you can find these defined standard materials. That doesn't mean that you cannot find the standard materials elsewhere. There are chances of you finding them elsewhere, especially asteroid belts get more attractive because they have a more diverse spectrum of materials. But on the planet side, like you know from Earth, we just have very distinct locations where you can find those rare earths. And what we also introduced is that each of the standard material always have certain more rare or rarer materials associated with them. So this gives you a glimpse of where we are going, where our intention is to have star systems with exclusive materials that you need for your crafting. So you have to travel to a certain star system to get the material that you need for whatever item you would like to create.
What about you, Space? That is very interesting and very in line with what I heard from the geologist people.
They're talking about crafting a lot.
They are
Kind of surprising.
Do you know why? Because crafting is actually a really simple to implement, because essentially it's just an item spawning. You know, so if you other than adding an effect, you know, say you had a closet, right, and it's a 3D printing closet. You close the closet doors, you spawn the item, play a special effect, and then open the closet. Bang! There's your crafting done. So really, it's just they've already got it. They've just got to add a special effects and make the ships or the vehicles that do it. So it's actually kind of low hanging fruit in a lot of ways. So yeah, and again, that's, you can already see that they've got code there for it because they put that stuff in for the reclaimer. Who built all that art assets? Who built the compressor to compress the salvage? Who actually built the thing on the side that spits out the multi-tool? And they're already been made. Someone's already been they've been working on manufacturing in the background and just not talked about it.
I would like to hear them talk a little bit, I hope that in the future they'd be able to work this entity or resource spawning thing that they have into the actual planet generation tech.
Yep.
So that it can just procedurally spawn these kinds of resources in the places they would naturally occur in those planets based on what the planet's being made from.
And
that would be really cool.
That's what me and the geologist hit on in the point of view, the professional point of view episode, because they took me to Cellin, and every single mountain on Cellin is like a volcano or something. It was all bespoke, and they will literally say, see how the sediment runs down the mountain like this, and this is where it would actually look. And when you go look at the way height maps are built, right, in a video game, you could then use those height maps to actually, as essentially say, this is where I'd want those resources to spawn. So you can actually use the maps that they use for the texturing and the height elevation and the texturing and all that type of stuff. And, you know, say they color coded it, and it's like wherever there's blue, there's a chance on this blue area that it would spawn copper in this area. and in another
Yeah.
area. So you just you assign this area is high in copper. If this area is blue, then spawn said mineral that they've picked in that location. And I think that is how they're going to do it. And if they've now done that, I wouldn't be surprised if they're already doing that. So again, we'll have to wait until this comes in the game, but I think that's where it's going. Tina, what's your thoughts on that as a new player? Does that sound? I guess what I'm saying is they're moving more towards realism. Tina, is that a good thing for you? You want that more realistic gameplay as someone that's fresh to the game?
I would want more realism if it can happen, for sure. But I mean, it also means that it's tougher and it's more confusing. But I think that's what makes it special, right? Because then some people will be good at this and some people will be good at that. And so I'm down. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're going for so one of the things you'll notice as you play this game, even though we talk about mining now being like tier 0 and it's the first implementation, one of the things you look at is in most MMOs when you play mining, it plays an animation of you playing a pickaxe and it just does a bar. When you go out and do mining for the first time, I'd love to see your response after that. But once you've gone and done mining, you'll realize it's not just a bar, and you'll be like, "Wow, this is actually quite deep." And at the moment, that's shallow.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I guarantee you, once someone takes you out and you're just mining, I'd love to get your feedback because I guarantee you'll be like, "Wow, this game is going to be really good." I guarantee you. Like, and I think Space should.
Yeah,
Space should agree with me on that.
The idea that you have to put. So sorry.
There's a bit of lag. Don't worry about it, Tina. It's all good. Go ahead.
The idea that you have to become like good at something. And that it can take time, and that there's a reward and it's worth it. That's cool. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah. So Space, though, you would agree though that you'd like to see what Tina's thoughts are on that after she's actually done it, because I think it is a lot deeper. Yeah.
As long as they fix the scanning problems first.
Yeah.
I think that really throws a wrench in the enjoyment of mining. And it seems like maybe they're about to talk about that. I'm not sure.
Well, scanning is a lot better in salvage now too. So yeah, hopefully, it looks like he's about to talk about it. So let's have a listen.
There are two more things that we updated. So one thing that we noticed is that mining is a difficult profession, and we want to make the obstacle less less threatening for new players.
That rock was excited.
Means that we improved our mining UI a little.
The old mining UI was one of the most developed UIs in the game. It was one of the most readable already, but we discovered some improvements we could add to it to make it more enjoyable to the players. But we had like some slight issues with you could say clutter, basically, with the center part of the screen with too many elements flashing. So for the next update, we moved some elements together. For example, we moved the mining throttle next to the power charge of the asteroid, since those two elements are semantically related. We've added a range bar to the left with all the ranges you need to keep in mind, like scanning, blast radius, and mining range of your head.
Moved around some elements here pretty wildly. The thrust vectoring is up on the top. I like that they've got that extra hashed orange dial on the upper left there.
Well, that optimal
But what
range,
I really want to see is how this...
That optimal range one makes a lot more sense now because it slides up and down just like the mining one does. So yeah, I like that. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And it's really cool that it shows the scanning distance. I would really like to see how this looks with direct sunlight, though.
Tina, just for the sake of the video, I won't tell you how mining works, but but this is the main thing you do with mining, and otherwise, because most of us know how this works, but yeah, long story short, you shoot a laser and you see that green on the side, you kind of power it up, and you're trying to keep it in the green until the green fills up, and then basically the rock breaks. That's the basics of it anyway, but yeah.
I like where they moved the dials here. The power dial, the velocity dial. They've made it a lot more uniform.
Yeah, and it allows you to do everything on the one screen. You don't have to flick backwards and forwards either or anything like that. It's a lot simplified. Okay.
Wait, hold on, Tina. How is this as a UI?
Yeah.
I mean,
Does it communicate things to you, or is it feel?
but I'm not like a pilot though. I don't.
Sure, but I think that's part of the interesting part. Like, if you were a new player
Right.
and you opened this up, what would
I mean,
you
there's so many
think?
things to see. So like when I look at it as with not understanding anything, I'm not the composition. I'm assuming maybe that's like what's the rock made of, and we have scan results. That makes sense. But maybe the overcharge and optimal would make more sense when I see it moving and when you were describing it.
Yep.
But I don't know what's going on the left side that says it says optimal too, Max. But what is it? Why is it on both sides? And it's orange on that side, but red on the other. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
So
I
they
think,
have it at the bottom.
yeah,
There's a range in
everywhere.
charge level.
yeah. I think you've kind of got to see in progress before she can actually comment on it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So yeah.
Mhm.
All right, we'll take her out and get you some mining and yeah, get your feedback on that. All right, let's keep going.
We shuffle less relevant UI elements to the bottom of the screen to clear up space on the center part and on what you are looking at. We've also changed the display of scanning to make it less disruptive to the mining experience, and we've improved a little on a bunch of things like color and element positions within each card of the screen to make it more readable.
So now it is easier for you to see what distance you have to keep from the rock, what dangers you encounter on the rock, how your mining head actually is set up right now, and all the parameters that you need to know if the rock that you are targeting is actually mineable.
I'm just noticing with those rocks, I actually think they've updated the 3D models of the rocks too. They actually seem more highly detailed. Did you pick up on that, Space?
Yeah, they do look a little bit better in the
Crisper.
lighting.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, just take a look again, guys, and see if you can notice it too.
For that, we even added a little helper that basically tells you, hey, it is very doable. It's an easy mining approach. It's a challenging mining approach, or it's an impossible one, because now there will be impossible one. And this is where our last change for this update comes in, which is multi-crew mining. We thought that the size of the rocks and the power it required for multiplayer mining was sufficient, but especially with the mining gadgets, you could bring down.
It was not. It really was not. Like, it was like often you'd go out in the mole and you would only use 2 lasers on the mole. It was really, really bad. It felt like they had just basically taken the prospector rock and dialed up the numbers so you could do that. So what I'm hearing, or I think he's about to say, is they've basically made better rocks for the mole. Yeah, this will be really good. This will bring mining up to where salvage is at in the reclaimer right now. That's what I'm hearing. But yeah, here we go.
On the resistance so much that like multi-crew mining wasn't as needed anymore as we actually intended. And that's the benefit of having a game in a live environment where you, as the community, create videos, create reviews, post like comments on the spectrum, that you are basically not as satisfied with the gameplay as you would like to be.
It's one way to put it.
Yeah.
And this is now our opportunity, and we saw the need in it to make it even more
He
future-proof.
looks so sad.
Well, I think I figured out why he's so sad. He's a member of Slytherin. Have a look at his jumper. He's a Harry Potter Slytherin.
For all the upcoming
Gryffindor
systems.
over here.
Yeah.
So we
No
wanted
one's a
to
Gryffindor fan.
encourage
Lol.
players using the mole in a cooperative environment. And what we think lore-wise was that what makes sense and was an easy win for us was that because you are sharing one.
Now that rock looked a lot bigger than a standard size rock. Did you notice that, Space?
Yeah,
That-
sounds like they're
that
boosting the size.
That is a new rock. I'll play it again and just take note of the size. It's almost half the size of the mole itself.
But makes sense and was an easy win for us was that because you are sharing one system, one computer on your mole, you basically have a way to synchronize your mining lasers. And by that, you get the benefit while sitting in a mole to decrease the instability of the targeted rock drastically. So if you compare this with a prospector hitting the same rock with, like if you have 3 prospectors hitting the same rock, you will get a punishment basically in terms of instability. So we wanted to make sure that it's still solvable. If you are an expert miner, you can counter the instability there. But it's more effort that you have to put into it compared to a mole, where with you have a high instability rock and you have 2 friends or 3 friends, you better pick your mole over the 3 prospectors because you will have an easier.
That is really important. They've actually just made the mole a thing. That was
So-
my biggest concern with the mole. It seemed like the worst miner out of all 4 mining ships in the game, and I think now with what they've done here, they've given it a reason to exist. Space.
So what they're saying here is that you have to aim all of the lasers in the same spot in order to get the benefit of the less
Yeah.
instability.
Yeah, and also coming from the same system. So coming from the same ship, they kind of work together. That was the other part.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a better. I mean,
Needs a bit more of an
lore-wise,
explanation.
I would
doesn't
like
it?
a better reason for why just being on the same system. But you know, it's cool gameplay wise.
I thought my initial thought when with the mole was they were just going to make bigger rocks that were made so the prospectors couldn't do them, or you needed more prospector. But I think they literally have looked at this problem and gone, yeah, but you can just throw more prospectors at the situation. So now they're trying to go. That's why I said lore-wise, they're trying to look for a reason for why you would want 3 people on a mole as opposed to 3 people in just prospectors, which is what John does all the time, right? He was like, "Oh, we'll just throw multiple prospectors at the same rock." Where with this, it's now giving you a reason to want the mole to go out in the mole. Also, we also knew down the line with cargo and stuff like that, they carry more on the mole and stuff like that. So more reasons for a ship to exist is a good thing, not a bad thing. So yeah. All right.
The mining experience, picking the mole. And there's one more thing that ties in with the difficulty or increase of difficulty that we intended with this update, and that basically brings us back to the resources and the update that we did for the resources. Something we didn't have before, but we will now introduce, is that each resource composition will have an effect on the weight or on the mass of the mineable. So that means there are certain materials that are heavier and therefore harder to crack. So you definitely need to bring friends to be able to crack the stone with the super dense materials in comparison to resources that are less dense and are more porous. So you will have an easier life or easier mining approach with them. This will not make single player mining worthless. It will make it more interesting for sure, because like we also will update a little bit of the trading, so it is even more valuable, or you get more profit out of even the less rare materials, because of the redistribution of the resources. Suddenly there is a demand at the other side of the universe for aluminum, for example. So you might wonder.
Oh, that's what was on his head. I was like, what the hell am I looking at?
That's a Halloween mask though, so you'll be able to pick one of those up at Halloween.
From the back, I was like, where do you get that hairstyle? It was like a blonde bun or something. I was like, what is this?
This update will be available to you. And I have some good news. So you might have seen the content that we put in this video already. So it is already in a playable state for us, but not only that. Right now we are on a good track to have it inside or have it part of the next major release after our 3.18 patch. We are very confident that it will be in 3.19.
So,
boy.
what are we?
Sorry, Space?
No. Just that he said he gave it a date.
Yep.
Dun,
We learned this week? Well, we learned that resources are being redistributed throughout the Stanton system and include new additions to vehicle and FPS minables. That the UI continues to evolve and improve the player experience. And that balancing changes to everything from heads to consumables to gadgets and to the resources themselves means that Alpha 319 will bring a thoroughly updated experience to miners when it arrives later this year. Now, as for Alpha 318, it's available to all players now in OpenPTU, so don't miss your chance to get in there and bang on the pipes, as it were, to help us get things to a live release. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all here next week.
All right. That was actually pretty good, considering last week's episode was horrendous. That was actually really good. All right,
Cool.
Let's switching you guys back over. And there we go. Cool. All right, back to the regular one. Cool. All right, so that was really cool. Do you know actually who I reckon would be... Wait, I'll stop recording for you. What would actually be really good would be to do one with John Citizen. That's who you should do a reaction one with if you can get a hold of John, because I think he's he'd have a lot to say on that. So yeah. All right. We are quickly running out of time. I think I might actually push the ship giveaway. Sorry, guys. Just because we've kind of run out of time and we haven't even hit a single one of them. So we'll take a few more questions and you can blame me for that one, but I'll push that to next stream, and I apologize for that. You can hold me over a barrel or to the flame. It's just that we're only going to get to read one or two of them before the time runs out. So I'd rather I'll either talk with Ara and see if we can come up with a better way to come up with one of those. But yeah. So we'll take a couple more questions, if you guys don't mind, and then we'll wrap up. Is that good with you guys?
Yep.
Cool. Shem Pastor says, Tina, have you heard of... Oh, no, that was the last one. So Stefan the Yeti says, what if they made a hotkey that when held would bring up the keyboard with the binding, and then you could quickly reference it? Well, it's already in the menus, but I guess essentially they could do that, make it easy for new people. So what he's essentially saying is instead of having to go into the menu and look at the keyboard layout, it's just a key that you hold and it shows you that image.
Yeah,
cool.
and at the moment I don't necessarily know what I need though. So if I like open that up and it says, I don't know, that it does a word that I don't know what that word relates to, that wouldn't be helpful. Well, I think it depends on the thing.
And they do have pretty advanced names in this. So like if I said decoupled mode, do you know what that means?
Just absolutely not.
That's my whole point.
Separating, maybe, but I'm not sure what we're separating.
I won't even explain what it is. There are a lot of different modes and flight modes and all this type of stuff that they need to teach people. So they do need to. I think as a part of it, when you maybe in the menu when you go over the key, it actually explains what that mode is or what exactly what that is. Again, like it's really hard to unlearn what you know as a veteran player or a player that's been around for a long time and then kind of look at all with fresh eyes. So again, I think players like you coming in is vital to teach people the tutorial stuff as well. So yeah.
And I think if I didn't have like a guide, like if they let's say they add those, they tell me what the keys are, still don't necessarily know what they mean. I would end up, I'm already trying, and it's just not possible yet. But if they build it more out, I would do it even more, is relying on hitting the F key and looking for what's clickable. I would give up on hotkeys, and I would be looking around while I'm sitting in my pilot seat and seeing what I can turn on with the F key if I was under the impression that that was doable to get me all the way to space.
So John's actually...
It's one way.
John Citizen's actually just popped up in Twitch chat. So John, I was going to suggest that you take Tina out and do some teacher mining, but I was also suggesting that if you haven't watched the ISC, that maybe you watch that with Space Toomato and give him your thoughts, because it'd be interesting to see you're one of the best. You're the best miner I know, so it'd be interesting. Yeah, you've already been told about it. Cool. All right. So yeah, we'll set up a time if you want, Tina, and you can take John out. He's a 75-year-old British man, but he's very good human. You'll have a great time. Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you'll meet him. He's a real character. He's a well, here in Australia we'd call him a larrikin. So yeah, you'll love it. All right, next question, Space Toomato.
Would you be for or against customized ship paints and graphics, Uwu Girls, and Goku's painted on ships?
I think that's for you, Tina. So you take that one.
Oh, it's for me? Oh, they know what I'm going to say, though. I'm going to say, hell yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it might end up looking a little bit like Fortnite, but there's going to be a bunch of people who don't want it, and that's just going to be like the open road. You know, we get custom paints, and a lot of people have regular paints. Most people have regular paints. That's what you'll get. It's expensive to get custom paints, so probably if it's similar, be the same.
Yeah, I
You can spot out the weeps.
I think you can let people go to a certain level, but I don't want to get it to the point where it's like super distracting like Fortnite. I think put it this way: if you're going to put on a silly thing on your ship, like say a shark fin or whatever, if you put a shark fin on your ship, I would want it to realistically cause drag and stuff like that to deter people from doing things like that, right? So if you want to do something silly, like put something on your ship like that, like a giant red nose or something like that, whatever it is, I think it should, yeah, you could do it, but it's going to act real. And, you know, same thing as if you put like an ever-changing neon graphic paint on your ship, you're going to stand out like crazy. So people are going to know where you are, you know, just like real life. So again, cause and effect. And I think that will solve a lot of the problem, personally. Yep.
It tells a lot about people, right? And you drive on the road and you can learn a lot about someone just by their bumper stickers and the color of their car and how they treat their vehicle. And it'd be the same situation. And that would be cool to know more about somebody. Just like you might not want to land here, or maybe you're going to land over there, or you're just going to go somewhere else. It'd be funny to be able to have those interactions without even having an interaction yet.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so Kayla Lau says, question, did they mention anything to give different energy weapons different damage actual effects? Like now lasers are the same as neutrons and will make difference in terms of stats. I think when I said what I said earlier was I'm hoping they do that. It just makes a lot more sense to me. And they have talked about different damage types, especially when it came into line with the Perseus. So they've talked about different ammo types and stuff like that. But we'll just have to wait and see where they go. And I'm basing my assumptions on other games that we've seen. So that's all we've really got to go on at the moment. Space, did you want to talk to that at all, or?
Just that they have talked about it.
Yeah, that's it. So it's just wait and see. All right, we'll answer these last four that are in this section, and I think we'll kind of call it there if that's good with you guys, because I'm getting a bit tired. I'm noticing Space Toomato yawning. We're at different time zones to you, Tina. So for you, you got the good slot, Tina. We got the shitty ones. So
it's 2 p.m.
Yeah, it's 9 a.m. But I only got about 4 hours sleep, so yeah, I need to go have a nap. And Space, what time is it for you? It's
almost 1:30
in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, yeah. So Space has to get to bed. Yeah. Mrs. Toomato
My
is
wife
gonna
peeked in angry.
Mrs. Toomato is gonna kill me. I didn't realize it was so late, bro. Sorry, I apologize. She's gonna kill me. All right. So Lost Walmart says, will skill-based pooping be a thing? No. Oh, that's a silly question. I should have even read that. Stefan the Yeti says, have you played Ark Survival Evolved? In that one, your person poops and you can use it for fertilizer or force your captives to eat it. Yeah, actually, that probably is a point about pooping. You could actually use it for fertilizing in farms. And I'd expect that probably is a thing. You might actually have to go, like, as a cargo operator, go collect the waste from a space station and deliver it to a farming planet. No, that's serious. I think that will be a thing. It makes a lot of sense.
Someone else do the dirty jobs show, but Star Citizen.
Yeah, that's it. Dirty Jobs. Actually, that'd be a really good YouTube channel if you can pull that off. Today on Dirty Jobs. Yeah. I moved 10 tons of shit from Stanton, Florida. Pyro 5. Yeah, that could really be a thing. Shenpass to ask, do you like Vegemite? Tina, do you like Vegemite?
Oh, a trapeze instructor who gave us some toast, but she said not to have too much of it. She said it's bathroom food. So I have no idea. It was like a long time ago. It was on toast. It was very small and it tasted was unremarkable. So
Yeah, it's incredible.
No comment.
It's incredibly salty, and you've actually got to learn how you like it yourself. And I would say not every Australian does eat it. I'm actually prefer a different mite, so I prefer Pro Mite, but I'm a bit, and then there's Marmite in the UK. It's just like
what
any.
is it made of?
It's actually a beer extract. It's the leftover remnants from the yeast from beer. And so they take it and they turn it into mix it with some vegetable extract sometimes and turn it into it's basically a breakfast spread. That's like anything. Like, do you like raspberry jam or strawberry jam? It's the same thing. Like, it's just the flavor that you like. How are you eating it? I'm really confused because most Americans just see videos.
Yeah, she was saying that you use it as kind of like to make you use the restroom. That's how she take a lot of it, and that's why you would want to eat it. That's all she said.
See Space Tomato's reaction. That is, yeah, it's hilarious. No, you don't do that. And a lot of like videos of people eating Vegemite. They'll take a whole tablespoon and they'll just eat the whole tablespoon. You don't do that. It's like a light scraping on toast. And if I end up coming
but now,
over
have
this,
you ever tried more than that?
No, it's disgusting. It is really, really salty. It's like, I don't know if you've ever had caviar or something like that. It's like super salty.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just this light thing that you have with the salt, and because you have butter on it, you get this slight sweetness, saltiness type thing. It's a balancing of you're basically balancing it with the butter on the toast. Is what you're going for. But there are some people that prefer it thicker. Again, it's your own taste preferences, so you can have a lot more on it or a lot less. But most people have a very light scraping. So yeah. Anyway. But no, I don't like Vegemite. Space. Have you ever tried Vegemite?
Nope.
Yeah. So he doesn't know. Last question for today is from Alfuran. Would you prefer being a crew member or the captain of your ship? There you go, Tina. You can take that one.
Definitely gotta be a captain. I gotta be a captain. We gotta go where no man has gone before. As a longtime Star Trek lover, gotta be a captain. Captain Kirk. Oh boy, let's go. Let's go.
What about you, Space? Yeah, would you rather be the captain or a crew on the SSS Toomato?
I mean, I guess I'd rather be the captain because then I get the choice of doing any crew position I want if I want to.
Yeah. I'm probably going to end up being a captain as well. I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, so I think I would be better at something where I can, do that type of thing. I'm just looking for someone for us to raid. Loken's on, so we could raid him. Or we could, hey, let's go raid Avenger 1, since we were talking about him earlier. That sounds appropriate. So Avenger 1 is on. I will send you guys in Twitch over to him. So apparently they changed the command for raid. I don't know if that's true. And yeah, let him know we send our love for you guys on Twitch. And if I could spell Avenger, that would really help, eh? Underscore.
It's a hard word.
I don't use it a lot. Believe it or not. Right, so thank you guys for joining us on Twitch. Remember, thank you for all the subs, the bits, the YouTube memberships, the super chats, all that type of stuff. Thank you very much. Yeah, Space is falling asleep rapidly. I've now counted 6 yawns in less than 60 seconds. So yeah, thank you for everyone on Twitch. So Tina and Space, say goodbye to everyone on Twitch. They're heading off. Bye.
See you later, Twitch.
And so they're off. As for you, YouTube guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you want to get all our videos, and let us know in the comments as well what you thought of this episode. I do apologize for the giveaway. Time just got a little bit away from me, so apologies for that. And yeah, I'll make it up to you. I'm sure you guys understand. You're very forgiving in that way. Right. With that, Tina, where I should have done this before I sent the Twitch people away, but Tina, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, so you can find me like on YouTube with Imitation Tina. I've got a regular channel, just Imitation Tina, clips and VODs, and you can find me on Twitch. That's my main place, Imitation Tina again, and I'm on Twitter and Instagram as well. Yeah. But yeah, it's nice to meet everybody.
Thank you. No, it was really great having you. Really good to get a different perspective. Space, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Search Space Toomato on Google. I'll pop up. I'm on YouTube, Twitch. There's a website that has all the links to stuff. Discord. We have an org where you can come play. We are specifically trying to help newcomers and people who just want to have a place where they can play any type of gameplay in Star Citizen. So, just searching Space Toomato, you'll find me.
And please apologize to Honey for me. I didn't realize it was so late for you. And I do really thank you for filling in today. I appreciate it more than you know. Well,
Yeah, man.
You know,
Of course.
You know, I know. Right.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. All right. With that, then, I'm trying to think I've missed anything. Oh, yeah, there'll be a show this weekend. I'll get around to that. Other than that, we will see you guys next week. She's been Imitation. Ugh. Butchered it. Imitation Tina. He's been Space Toomato. I'm an Execute.
I have.
Catch you in the next one. Say goodbye, everyone.